Hold on, let me pull up.
From member station WBEZ in Chicago, Araceli Gomez-Alzano reports the group has resisted other demands by Trump.
The governor also refused to activate Illinois National Guard troops, even after the White House gave him what he called an ultimatum, saying, call up your troops or we will. And on Sunday, after learning about Trump's move to send Texas National Guard to Chicago, Pritzker called it, quote, madness, and asked...
Yeah, I'm going to plug it in. Mm-hmm.
All right. Your finger blocking the phone screen.
No, I put it down.
Oh.
Hold on, let me just plug in this at the top. Mm-hmm. So it's in now.
Okay. So let me see the screen, what the screen is saying now.
You see it?
Who redrew the state's congressional map recently to create 5 more favorable seats for Republicans. Texas lawmakers took on this effort at the request
So you're live now, but let me go check the stream.
to keep control of Congress next year.
All right, cool.
California Democrats led by Governor Gavin Newsom out to counter the positive redistricting effort by creating 5 more favorable congressional seats for Democrats in the state. Unlike Texas, California has an independent redistricting commission, so lawmakers need to ask voters for permission first to bypass the independent commission that voters in California approved in 2008 and 2010. Ashley Lopez, NPR News.
The new parent company of CBS has hired Free Press founder Barry Weiss as the editor-in-chief of its news division. Skydance Media is also set to acquire her center-right news site known for its sharp criticism of the news media as liberal. NPR's David Folkenflik reports.
In recent months, the former and new ownership of CBS have announced a series of moves. The cancellation of Stephen Colbert's late-night show, which often satirized President Trump, paying Trump $16 million to settle his lawsuit over a 60 Minutes interview of then Vice President Kamala Harris last year, naming a conservative former think tank chief to be an ombudsman. Now, Barry Weiss arrives as a top executive. She is to work in partnership with CBS News President Tom Komorowski. She has no experience in the past and is unlikely to
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I think you may try to get going live. But man, as a YouTube, so I'm just up. So, maybe if you're honest, I try to assist because, you know, myself.
The federal government shutdown. Republican and Democratic lawmakers are treating blame for the situation. That Democrats agree to a short-term spending bill to reopen the government.
I don't know how to use it.
First,
you'd have to use this. Can it go horizontal? Can it go horizontal?
Yeah, man, but I think you have to touch.
This hasn't been confirmed
YouTube,
yet.
better this on YouTube.
Israeli foreign
That's
ministry
what YouTube
reports
is.
that activist Greta Thunberg and scores of others have been deported. Israel detained them as they tried to deliver aid to Gaza. Terry Schultz reports.
Swedish Foreign Minister Maria
What
Stenberg
come up
tells
there,
the
Stefan?
TT News Service she's received reports that 22-year-old
Orientation
Thunberg
is-
has been treated badly by Israeli
Is
personnel.
not rotate
Italian
device
journalist
back.
Lorenzo D'Agostino, who was held with Thunberg, says he saw it
Really?
happen.
She was created and wrapped in an Israeli flag and exhibited like a trophy.
Alright, put it back to
No,
it.
don't turn the camera
Thunberg
horizontal.
reminds Israel
Okay.
that, quote, need for food and water must be met, and that all those detained must be allowed to meet with a legal representative if they wish. Israel denies Thunberg has been mistreated. For NPR News, I'm Terry
You have to keep the camera straight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man, fix it.
Awarded to 3 scientists. They include Americans Mary
The thing is, I'm still hearing you when you speak.
as well as Japan's
You're
Shimon
still hearing when I
Sakaguchi.
speak.
The scientists are being honored for work that
Oh.
explains why the immune system in human
You know,
beings
you don't need the
instead
the splitter.
Hmm?
You need a splitter.
by Corba Coleman.
That's why I'm hearing you when you speak. You need a splitter.
But this was one when I buy.
Are you watching it?
About this new one. Look
No,
at this.
no, this is just like
It can't work.
no, this is a regular RC to thing. You need a splitter.
Plus at plus.npr.org. That's plus.npr.org.
Because this card, I'm say card that I go because I buy this new card. I buy this, and then the splitter can't work on that. The splitter can't take off that can work.
I just went in, right? They're gonna mic. I don't know if you have to start. I don't know if you have to restart the stream though.
I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream. I have a dream that someday this will be a better life. Baby, you can see me. Baby, you can see the dream. I'm sure someday you'll understand. It can all be better if we get together and dream, dream. I have a dream that someday we'll all walk hand in hand. I have a dream that someday this is going to be a better land. Maybe you can't see my meaning, you can't see my dreaming, but I'm sure someday you'll understand. It can all be better if we get it together and dream, dream, dream. Oh, how sweet the words love and peace sound to our ears. Only one thing wrong, my friends. Too many say these words, not enough are sincere. Oh, the words of freedom, liberty stands out in my soul and my mind. Tears come to my eyes, and I realize justice is blind. I have a dream that someday we'll all walk hand in hand. I have a dream that someday for our children this will be a better life. Maybe you can't see my meaning, and you can't see my dreaming, but I'm sure someday you'll understand. We can all be better if we get it together and really dream. Sing it with me. Oh, my dream come true for me and for you. Dream, the impossible dream. Looking out into the morning rain, and oh, it used to make me feel so uninspired. But when I listen to the straight up show, yes, it made me feel so inspired. You know this is Celsius representing for Conrad O'Brien. News Talk 93 FM, 9 a.m. to midday, Mondays and Tuesdays. Conrad O'Brien, the man is batting for the masses of Jamaica. Tune in, turn on, and be entertained.
Conrad O'Brien, straight up, you
News Talk 93 FM, yeah. Mondays to Tuesdays, 9 a.m. to 12 midday. He is the voice that's battling for the Jamaican people every day, Welcome, welcome, welcome. A very pleasant welcome to all in the reach of my voice. My name is Conrad O'Brien, and indeed, they call me the Fireman. It's Monday, October 6, 2025. Welcome to another edition of your program, Straight Up, right here at News Talk 93 FM. We're coming to you live from the studios of News Talk 93 FM right here at UWI Mona campus in the parish of St. Andrew, Jamaica. Indeed, the numbers to call are 876-212-9824 and 876-462-0919. To listen to us on your smartphones and device, please go to the Apple or Google Play Store and download the News Talk 93 FM app. We also stream live via www.newstalk93fm.net. Go follow us on the various social media page. Of course, we're up live today on the Conrad O.B. the Fireman YouTube channel. That is Conrad O.B. the D.A. Fireman, and that's the YouTube channel that we are streaming on this morning. Indeed, we're also up with our partners, fitfmja.com, and indeed you can join them at 96.7 on the FM band. To advertise with us, please call our sales agent at 876-427-9955. That's 876-427-9955. And you can also send us an email at our sales department at newstalk93fm at newstalk93fm. Send us an email at our sales department at newstalk93fmsales@gmail.com. All right? So that's newstalk93fmsales@gmail.com. That's where you send us your email. I want to say thanks to those of you who are jumping on the channel. And indeed, we invite you to go there, subscribe, like, and share the channel. It's a new channel that we are building out, and we are indeed happy for the expression that we are getting so far. So we actually changed the name of the channel, but you're there, so the subscription is up just the same. But the name of the channel is Conrad O.B. the Fireman. All right, that's it. So Conrad O.B. the Fireman. All right, and that's the not the, but the Fireman. All right, so join us there. Indeed, it's a wonderful morning here in Jamaica. It's a Monday, beautiful Monday. It's the 6th day of October 2025 in the year of our Lord. That is to say that we have just a short period to conclude the year. And as I always remind you, our listeners, that, you know, you can take up your paper that you would have put your resolution on, dust it off, see where you are, because it's not, they said it's not quite how you start, but it's how you finish. So you may have an hiatus or some challenges for the first 9 months, but here you are. You still have 3 months to make good those resolutions becoming a reality. So for those of you who are still, you know, a believer in your resolution and so on, and they're on paper, take that paper up and dust it off, you know. You may still want to change out that facility in your bathroom. You may still want to put a new cupboard in the kitchen and all of that, you know. You may still want to get
sort of savings plan going. You did not start at the first 9 months, but you still can start now, and you still have 3 deposit that you can make. You basically build that out. All right. I hope I'm making some sense there for those of you who are interested in those things. It's 14 minutes after 9 o'clock. And where are we going with the program this morning? Coming up momentarily is Conrad Stake. And indeed, at 10:10 this morning, we'll be talking to a newly minted spokesperson and Justice, MP for Northeast St. Elizabeth, Madam Attorney at Law Zalika Jess, goes by the name Little Portia. So we are expecting to join her this morning on the program. So stick and stay with us. And of course, we'll be taking your calls at 876-212-9824 and 876-462-0919. Again, my name is Conrad O'Brien, the fireman. All right, so that said, let's get straight into the business and get the show on the road. So, welcome to another edition of my opening commentary, my editorial piece, Conrad Stake. And this morning, I really just want to look at a few things here, and maybe one thing. And that's the whole business of crime and violence in our society. And let me start off first by commending the police for the work that they would have done to reduce the murder numbers, certainly the numbers that we're getting from the police blotter, showing us a decrease in the murder year on year. So I want to offer commendation on that. But on the other hand, we're very, very concerned about the police killing. Very, very concerned about that, because more and more we're seeing where families are coming out and they're crying foul against some of the shooting that took place by the police. And indeed, we also have cameras, footage captured and cameras to basically justify some of those cries that the residents, the citizens of Jamaica are making and crying foul against some of the police activities. It's indeed for some time now that we have been taught, we have seen various squads in Jamaica, various squads form under different administration to basically deal with, hardened gunmen, as it were. However, sometimes they get it wrong. But what we're seeing and hearing now is that there seems to be a squad that is out there that has a particular mandate, and questions being asked there. Of course, Jamaica for Justice asking some question. Don't know that my friend Miss Jackson is as vociferous as she could be on these matters. We also hear from the body that's set up by Parliament to look at these issues, INDECOM. They're also raising some concern there. And indeed, a number of us in the Fourth Estate in media, we have concerns as well. And that is one of the reasons why we continue to put forward the point that it is impatient of debate as to how important the body-worn cameras are for our men and women who dressed in blue, right? So we want to see that. But the sad thing is that we continue to see heinous murders taking place in the country by gunmen, marauding gunmen are all over the place, still toting their guns. Recently, we have seen where the police have reported a number of murders, 4, 5, 6 murders committed in 24 hours. So it seems as if, although the reduction is on, coming into the last half of the year or the last quarter of the year, we're seeing where the numbers seems to be basically inching up. And we all woke up this morning to one of the most terrified news. Over there, a community that I'm sure my listeners who now resides overseas country is well familiar with. We saw where, and that's a constituency that borders Damien Crawford and Natalie Nita Garvey. We saw where marauding gunmen went to a house last night, based on the report, and Madam Producer, I did send you a clip from RJR on it, and we can probably play it somewhere in the program that was reported, where marauding gunmen went and they opened gunshot indiscriminately. When the dust settled, 9 were shot, 5 lie dead on the ground, and 4 is now nursing gunshot wound in the hospital. Now, a situation like this take place in the United States of America, for example. It's wall-to-wall coverage. Press conferences over press conferences and so on. You know, the police department basically dealing with that and all sorts of things. In Jamaica, we become numb to these things. So in the main, we get a little statement from the police here and there, and it's always said something like this: we will be leaving no stone unturned to find the criminals. And we are warning the gunmen that this is not a safe place to commit crime. But it continued to happen over and over and over again. And just imagine a house being attacked, 9 persons, or anywhere being attacked, 9 people shot. This is what you really describe as heinous crime. And I believe that the police indeed should leave no stone unturned to ensure that they capture these marauding gunmen. My friend, Senator Lambert Brown, Lammy, you know, we always talk, and whether on air or off air. And one of the things that he always said is that he's happy that the figures are going down. But one of the things is that there's just too many guns out there in the hands of criminals. And the gun itself, one would say the gun can't fire itself. It's really handled by men. And of course that is so. But the truth is that once the guns are out there in the hands of criminals, illegal guns are out there, then it takes nothing for you to have a flip. It takes nothing for the situation to flip, and you have what we saw there last night. Or the report, because this morning I actually woke up in the wee hours of the morning and checked my phone, and that's when I saw the thing, you know, doing the rounds and social media. And then when daybreak broke, certainly we got the conclusion, we got the confirmation of it. So all in all, we here want to offer our deepest condolences to the families and friends of all those 5 persons that were killed, including the child. The child was a part of that, and we gather that it is 2 females and 3 males. And don't know the condition of the 4 that is in the hospital. Don't know if we can get we can get a call to Deputy or Assistant Commissioner Phillips. You know, remember the last time I spoke to him down there in Old Harbour, we did an outside broadcast. We probably can get you to Mr. Phillips and see if he can tell us what is happening, what's the lay of the land. We know that the police basically issue a statement saying that it seems as if it's gang violence, so it would be interesting for us to hear what is happening in the space there as it relates to gangs. All gangs still very active within the St. Catherine community there, Spanish Town leading all the way back down to Linstead area there and so on, because of course we know that's normally a kind of hotbed there. So we're hoping that the police will get a lid on this. And we also hear coming out of Western Jamaica, Westmoreland to be exact, where a 29-year-old young lady, she was killed, murdered, and stuffed into a suitcase. The father was on the news this morning, and he said that what happened, he gathered that they hit her in the head, knock her out, and proceed to do whatever else, and then her body was stuffed in the suitcase. And when you listen to the father, guess what? He said this is his third child. His third child that has been murdered in this year. I don't know how many people are listening to me who have ever had a family member being murdered. I certainly had a brother who were murdered by gunmen. And to date, I can tell you, the scar still run deep in our family. It is something that every time you talk about it, you feel a chill in your body and your voice basically, maybe changes. So I understand in a big way what the father is going through. Just so you had one and it is so chilling, let alone you're asked to bury 3 of your children in 1 year. The fact is that it is always said that children is supposed to bury their parents. And this gentleman, hear him saying that, boy, him can't lose 3 children, and it just go like this. He want justice. Don't know what is the circumstance, but certainly it's a painful episode. So all in all, we still have the whole business of crime and violence taking center stage right here in Jamaica land we love. Started with my commendation based on the report that we have been getting that the numbers had gone down somewhat. But it must be of serious concern when we're still approaching maybe close to 1,000 murder once again, and we're asking the gun tutors. We know it's a difficult ask in that, they may not pay us any mind, but we're still asking, pleading even to gunmen, turn the gun in. There's a better way. Find a church. Find something productive to do. Forget the gang situation. And that is why, for example, somebody like me have serious problems when we hear because I spoke to the JTA boss last week or so, and he said that, there's no policy to turn children out of school, even when they're inappropriately attired. But we hear from time to time that students are basically sent home on the road. And these kind of activities that we're talking about, the youngsters are prime recruiting ground, very fertile ground there for recruitment. So we want to have our youngsters, both male and female, in schools and in productive activity. So Again, let's offer condolences to those who lost loved ones, and we hope and pray for a speedy recovery for those who are nursing injuries in the hospital. Gentlemen down there in Westmoreland, Savlamar, my prayer is with you, sir. For you to be losing 3 of your children in 1 year. Something is happening. The pastors and so on, they would argue that there seems to be a curse somewhere there. Don't know. But that's immediately what you would get from some pastors, members, persons who wear the cloth, members of the cloth, members of the clergy. They would actually say that prayers always important, and we put you on our prayers this morning, sir. It must be in any language very, very heart-wrenching and very difficult. I think the new member of parliament down there is doing vase, not seeking to understand any form of coloration to this gentleman also, but I believe that a time like this, everybody needs to go out and give this gentleman support. That's Conrad's take. Stay with me.
News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere. The time on News Talk 93 FM is 9:30.
Property owners, pay your property tax arrears now. Visit your nearest tax office, Linstead Old Harbour and Spanish Town. Pay by cash, debit or credit card, and take your TRN if you're paying by check. Property tax phase 4, street lights, garbage collection and disposal, parochial road rehabilitation and beautification. Contact your tax office or the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation at 876-984-3111 or 984-3112. Avoid legal actions. Pay your property taxes now.
You know the voices. Now we live the moments.
Can I start by asking you a very simple question?
Yes, dear. Make it very simple.
I'm not your yesterday man, and I'm not Johnny come lately. Already you are building the Jamaica of the future.
We're ready at the University of the West Indies.
This university and the people of Jamaica are with us all the way through.
The University Archives and NT93 FM present Voices from the Archives. Weekdays at 12:30 p.m., Monday to Thursdays at 6 in the evening, and Sundays at 8 in the morning on News Talk 93 FM.
Empire Group of Companies is now in the heart of New Kingston to serve you better. At 31 Tobago Avenue, get Empire Stationery and Office Supplies, Empire Restaurant and Hotel Supplies, and Empire Med and Scientific Supplies. Free same-day delivery island-wide. Visit their showroom today. Call 876-906-1965 to 6 or WhatsApp 876-775-2277. Email empirestationery1@gmail.com.
News Talk 93 FM now provides a reminder to ensure your safety in the event of a hurricane this season.
When the hurricane threatens,
stock up on water and non-perishable foods. Refill prescriptions needed. Make sure you have emergency equipment in your home. These include water boots, raincoats, flashlights, batteries, portable radios, kerosene lamps, and matches. Have simple first aid equipment such as iodine, bandages, eye lotion, etc. at home. Fill your car with gas to avoid long lines after the hurricane. Also, fill containers for portable generators. Park your car in a place that is safe from falling trees and utility poles. Turn off electricity from main switch 24 hours before the storm is expected to hit. Unplug major appliances.
That was a reminder for precautionary measures to ensure your safety in the event of a hurricane this season.
Are you looking for exceptional dental care? Then look no further, because Wellington Dental is here to serve you. We offer dental care for both adults and children. At Wellington Dental, we know that a visit to the dentist might be mind-boggling, but don't let that stop you from getting the dental care you need. We have trained therapists to help alleviate your anxiety and to make you feel so relaxed you feel like you're at home. Wellington Dental, located at 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. We look forward to serving you.
Hey, people, we don't want to hear the facts, the authentic facts. And the fireman Conrad O'Brien, him have that lack. People, more fire, Mr. Conrad O'Brien, more fire. Keep it blazing. Conrad O'Brien, I say no more, this too much. O'Brien, I say no more, this too much. Cause poverty lie in a long bend till the book. We garrison area, them want fix up. Hey, more fire. Hey, fireman, Mr. Conrad O'Brien, more fire. Keep it blazing.
News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere.
Indeed. We'll keep it blazing indeed as you stay with us for the duration of the program. We conclude here at 12 midday. And let me say hi and good morning to Richard. Richard is a part of the management team here at News Talk 93 FM. I want to also say good morning to Andrew. That's Mr. Bellamy. All right. Good morning to all of you guys. And indeed, good morning to my GM, Keisha, and also all the other aggregation here, Miss Maureen, who just gave me my tea, and of course my producer, Tanya, right here with me. I also want to say hi to Michelle, the lady who basically ensure that we get paid. Say hi to those of you who are joining us on the YouTube channel as well. Good morning to Pinks Green. She is saying that Death Squad, JFJ, and the umbrella group of churches need to be also involved. She's also saying since the JCF is choosing not to wear body camera, we the citizens need to start wear body cameras and install cameras in our homes and vehicles. That's a good suggestion there. You know. So because certainly that's one of the reasons why we have been able to see some of what took place there with some of our residents. Doreen Vassell is saying, "Mighty God, this is one grief. This one grieves me, chills." And Diane Webley is saying, "Good morning, Mr. Conrad O'Brien. We need divine intervention." Indeed, we do. We have our former Minister of National Security who said that some time ago that we need divine intervention. Some people make him a laughing stock. Also, Janet Jones saying, "Good morning, Conrad." All right. Rasheen O'Brien are saying audio is good. All right. Thanks a lot for that. And indeed, we have many more other people who are coming back for this saying, "Good morning, everyone. A blessed Monday." All right, thanks a lot. Let's open the phone line, Madam Producer. Let's go there. 876-212-9824. 876-212-9824. 876-462-0919. Give us a call. Share with us what's on your mind. All right? What's on your mind this morning? We continue to hear the cry across the length and breadth of Jamaica about roads, water, and so on and so forth. Certainly, car parts is very, very expensive, and the road surface really and truly need some serious attention, especially those major thoroughfares, because even though some of them may not have major potholes, but the surface is so bumpy and it is so much impacting the quality of your vehicle. Send Jess. Political commentator urges Golden to have justice spokesperson represent party in meeting with Chuck and constitutional reform. All right. Hello, caller.
Morning, Uncle Conrad. Morning, sir.
Hi, morning. How are you doing, Al?
Moving that time, sir.
Every time.
Yes. Conrad, I heard this morning your Conrad tea. But I'm praying for my country that God will allow His holy, divine presence and spirit upon our country. You know, some people laughed when Peter Bunting said that the situation was of such that he asked God to intervene. And he was laughed at, mocked and scorned if you can't manage come out of the kitchen. And today we have heard from the Ministry of Education that sentiment being echoed in the schools and in the halls, whereas they see that there is a total derogation of our children. But Conrad, I say this is not going to, there's nothing that is going to change. You remember I put that thing in our group, you know, that all the news that we are going to hear is bad news?
Well, I heard you say that, and right. Certainly I actually said at the time that I hope your prediction was incorrect.
Yes, Conrad, and I'll tell you why. Whenever a nation embark upon chaos to govern and rule from the very top, God is going to intervene by bringing into country His justice, whereas He's going to confuse you.
And as a result of that, the people will be murdered and suffer?
Listen to me. You listen to what I'm saying. It's the Bible. This prophecy will fulfill. This is a government that will not do anything that is correct and straight unless God intervenes. I tell you why. God does not work with corrupt, liar, nor dishonest people. You know? He said that He works with those who are holy and righteous and just. He doesn't work with the corrupt, so you can't do corrupt thing and expect that God bless your country.
But what about those persons who are listening to you, Al, and would say, why the whole of them? Them a politician, the whole of them corrupt and lie.
Well, let me tell you, God knows who is corrupt and His justice will deal with them. Me and you don't know. So we are making a general statement. But in the midst of all that is wrong, sometimes there's someone that is there that doing right, and God knows. Now you don't know. But and His justice, He said before in word pass, heaven and earth disappear. And heaven and earth is not going to disappear. God's word, nothing that this government does, whether it's in the economy, whether it is in education or health, it is not going to. Let me tell you why, Conrad. You see, people don't understand that God is in the midst of government. You know, He said He moved government and He placed them, He take them out and put in the next one. So He knows what He's doing. But I say this to you, Uncle Conrad. Listen to this.
Yes,
you know, I drive around Kingston and I saw FinSap 2 staring us in the eyes. You may ask what I mean.
Yes, because I want to ask you why.
Conrad, all of these high-rise buildings that you pass, all of these edifices, thousands of them. You go on Monroe Road, you go Seymour Avenue, you go up in Nancy, you moon, and you go all about Paddington Terrace, Stavistab Terrace, right back on to Barbican Road, all about up in the constant thing. But yes, when you look, you will see out of the gate lawyers advertising for sale and lease. Nobody no curtain, nobody no buy.
I want to just add something. As you mentioned that. I don't know if there's any correlation there. There's a plaza out there in Spanish Town, the Angels, right there at Angels Plaza.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Monday, that was nomination day.
Yes.
As everybody know, because I kind of share my business on here, so everybody know that I had problem with my car key. I lost my car key in Georgia. So I went to Angels there and I journeyed to Montego Bay on a Knutsford bus. Yes. But I was there early because the only one that I could get on is one that was going on at 2 o'clock. Right?
Yes, yes. Yes.
So I took the time now. I found a lovely little restaurant there, the lovely food, my type of food, you know, things that health conscious and so on. And I had something to eat, but I took the time to basically kind of do a tour of the plaza. And believe me, when I went inside the place, I had to say to the people, so what is happening here? There's so many empty shops that are on the plaza that used to be occupied. So
what I'm going to get there. Yes, I'm getting there.
So I know you're making your point, but I just wanted to insert that. So I don't know if we're picking up there.
Conrad, the plazas that you see building over a couple of years, recent time, and all of these housing in Mullines Garden all around, that one have been sold over 80%, and I tell you why. So who is holding these real estate? What entity? If it is the bank, and why is it that the bank lending money to buildings and they are not selling? That means something wrong. And listen, you see a lot of people committing suicide, but you don't know why, Conrad, and I'm going to tell you why. Yes. Hold up. You remember what they said in FinSAP 1?
Yes.
This is we are heading because SMP said that the economy is sluggish. We are have imported for the first 5 months.
Standard and Poor. S&P.
Yes.
S&P.
$800 million worth of oil and 850 million worth of food, and we only export 29 million. Let me say this to you. Tourism is down. Watch me. Remittance is down. And our big export is down. We down. Where are the money coming from in terms to collect to run this country when the budget was bust to run election? We are heading to FinSAP 2.
Well, certainly what we saw in terms of we've seen where for the first 5-6 months or so, the government basically collect about 6 billion ahead of target. I have to check what it is now. But certainly that they had collected a little more than targeted.
But Uncle Conrad, you know what? He asked the question, my friend, about the government spend less in terms of its budget, capital budget.
That's a biggie, and that's cause for concern because when you have, and it's going on year over year, the capital budget is not being spent. So it shows that the economy is indeed stagnant. As a matter of fact, we hear coming from John Mahfood saying that in order for the government may have to very well lay off public sector workers, or he's actually proposing that they should lay off public sector workers. So seems as if there are some headwinds on the horizon. We heard just yesterday, I was listening to Teachers Time and Radio Jamaica, and the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Mr. Mark Malava, he was basically serving notice and reminding the government and by extension the people of Jamaica that they are far away from a settlement. They said that they urge the teachers.
They gave them 2% just before election.
Well, he said that they're not accepting that, but what they did, they were in negotiation and so on, so they actually advised their teachers to go to work. But he's saying that it is far from over and they're expecting a much, much more meaningful offer from the government.
All that you hear that is being touted about the economy is stable and the economy is buoyant and the economy is doing well. It's like most things we've heard. And when we check it out, like the center out by St. Thomas, right? How we heard the urban center. We heard how good the urban center is. And when we check it out, nothing has not, and nobody occupied out there. Nothing has not done in terms of creating any form of a facility for the people to go inside to start work. Everything is just open, Well, you see the confusion, that is what the government is going to operate. It's not going to complete anything, it's going to start and pure chaos. We are running a country on the basis of chaos. We are majoring in chaos. Our election that passed shows the chaos. We have over 2 million people on voters list. And when you check it out, over 400 odd, either dead, missing, or not on it. So we can't even check the data to say how many people vote. It is chaos. A government of chaos.
All right.
But I finally say something, you Conrad. Remember I said it. Yesterday I've been to the first NEC of the election. And our comrade leader, Mark Jefferson Bolin, Well, you know, Marky G.
Yes.
Conrad, it's for branding.
What you say? What you say? What you say? I need to send the invoice to Mr. Golden.
Yes. Uncle Conrad.
Yeah.
It was echoed across the halls of the conference hall yesterday, my friend.
All right. Good.
A great conference, Conrad. Everything was said and everybody enjoyed themselves. Comrade leader gave a great analysis of what happened and what took place and where it's going. We're going forward, but we're going in unity and unison. Have a blessed day, my friend.
All the best. God bless you. All right.
Good.
So, July is talking about the first NEC meeting that took place with the PNP. That's the NEC is the highest decision-making body outside of annual conference for the PNP, similar to the JLP. They have their I so tell you, they have a similar body that is their highest decision body, making body outside of conference. So invariably they always have this meeting after the election and so on, whether win, lose or draw, to look at the lay of the land. So the PNP had their first one yesterday. It was held right here at the campus of the University of the West Indies. All right. Sansia Allison saying, good morning, Sir Obi. Good morning to you as well. And indeed, we invite you to subscribe. Go on my YouTube channel and subscribe, like and share as we invite your calls. The numbers are 876-212-9824, 876-462-0919. You're listening to News Talk 93 FM straight up with yours truly, Conrad O'Brien, the fireman. So, the people, the Gleaner, the old lady of North Street, is reporting on its front page this morning that Send Jess, so SEND, Send Jess, political commentator, urges Golden to have justice spokesperson represent party in meeting with Chuck on constitutional reform. And of course, you're very much aware that that's a sticking point. The constitutional reform, as a matter of fact, it has hit a snag. Some people said it actually in coma. It's comatose right now. So let's see if we can get some kind of forwarding on that. But certainly, we're not going to move unless we really and truly have some consensus. Not going to move unless we have some form of consensus there, because certainly I don't get the impression that the PNP, the opposition, will be giving up, and I don't know where the government will be doing. So they both have to decide to sit together and play ball. Hello, welcome, caller.
Morning, Mr. O'Brien.
Hi, how are you doing, Portmore?
I'm in here, sir.
Mm-hmm.
It seems as if it is the PNP who is running the country.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed.
Why you say so?
Well, when the GLP found and announced their cabinet, I never hear so many people talking about how the side of the cabinet is too big and poking all kind of hole in it. As soon as the PNP announced their one, that I agree with the side, because far as we're concerned, we don't need
Portmore, stick a pin there. I hear what you say about size. Listen. And it's probably one of the words that I use. Some people don't like it, but I don't mind. It's a nonsensical argument. It's an argument that has absolutely no value. I basically chronicled the situation from where this large spokesperson cabinet is from. It has a genesis with Mr. Siaga, I think. And one of the reasons that he posited at the time is that it gives a lot of people exposure. The concern as it relates to cabinet, as it relates to personnel, it is your cabinet. Whether it is a minister or your junior minister, not one opposition spokesperson gets $1 from the public's purse. All it does is give people an opportunity and exposure So even if the opposition leader want to name 100 people, not a thing no wrong with it.
Well, that's as usual, that's what I'm saying.
You know, so you find people out there want to criticize us. They talk all foolishness.
The focus is now on the opposition, as if they are them around the government, right? And you don't hear as much argument about why this Andrew Williams administration have such a huge cabinet.
Yeah, man. No backbench.
And at them a cost taxpayer money. At them a run up and down all over
the lowest paid person, the lowest paid person, let's put it in perspective. The lowest paid person in this executive rather. Like to get the letters sound there. This executive is the parliamentary secretary, and his salary is about $17.5 million, and I think there are other emoluments that goes with that, including I think a SUV. You understand? So those kind of things, the people must understand what is important to have discussion about. And let me tell you something, Portmore. We need to, I don't know if the people just really need to be sit into a classroom and be educated about this, because the things that we find interested to talk about, it's just mind-boggling.
Just don't look. They are what? Refer to as we are in a culture. We group us and we become almost like we are in a cult. So once you belong to a cult, there is nothing wrong. No matter how atrocious, no matter how evil your leader is, you cannot see anything wrong with what he's doing. No matter how stupid the policy is, they can't see anything wrong. Just like how when you look up north and see this dumb, stupid policy that Donald Trump has, and yet still you have people, especially the black people, you still supporting this policy, even though it is so detrimental to them and their children's future. But them still supporting this man. It's the same way out here. We don't seem to understand that whatever is being done now affects us, and it affects our children and children down the road. Just like a year, you call previously mentioned about the housing stock that is being put up all over Jamaica. The reason why a lot of them don't, the bank and something start running a problem is because a lot of these apartments that are being put up across the country, they are funded by illicit gain.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you, hold on, Portmore.
You're collapsing all over the place.
Yeah, remember, and one of the things, thank God for good memory. I remember like yesterday when no less a person than the Justice Minister, no, not the Justice, the Minister of National Security.
Yeah.
Dr. Chang said, listen, he sees absolutely nothing that is driving the construction center and also the ballooning used car dealership.
Yeah.
No less a person than the Minister of National Security says so. Now, Conrad says so.
So that is why you don't find the collapse. Because when I look at the amount of apartments and everything that is put up, shopping center, look at Silderman. Somebody tell me that Kentucky take long inside. Well, somebody said no, that's not going to, because them asked it, them doing business with them, and then raise that back. But what kind of business you can put into that place that can attract the kind of rental that they are charging? You know, sister, these people are living in some kind of a cocoon. I don't know where they come from. Just like how them build apartment, build house up a lake and sell it for $200 million. Something is wrong with, I don't know.
Well, maybe we have a few very wealthy people, sir, because if you can be building a place and sell it for $200 million, you're getting takers then. Seems we have some people who...
But we are, so, you know, people don't understand, you know. When we say we are next door to 18, we're going next door to 18 more ways than one. There are quite a few people who are very wealthy in 18, but yet still, The fact that Haiti have people with money is one of the poorest countries in the region when you look at the people's lifestyle.
Yeah, man. There are people. I think what happened, the Porsche company. I think one of their best markets is Haiti.
Well.
Yeah, man. Because what happened? Although we talk about the level of poverty and so on in Haiti have some of the richest people.
Yes,
some of the richest people. What it is, it's a small group of people who live like kings and queens. So when you point to a situation where you say some people are surviving and this, that, and some people are living, it happens in any society, the poorest of the poor. As a matter of fact, in poor society, sometimes you find that even more, so than society that has even greater equity across the board.
Yeah, because, and that is what we seem to be pushing. So we're having that, and you're building out all these houses. Teachers and nurses and young big professional who are coming out of university. She can't afford none of these places. So who's going to buy them? Because it's the middle class who actually hold up the economy. It's not the rich up at top because the money move all over the place. But it's the middle class of a society that holds a society.
All right, Portmore, I have to leave it there. Up on the news break. Thanks a lot for this morning. All right? Bless you. All right, let's go to the 10 o'clock break. So come.
News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere. The time on News Talk 93 FM is 10 o'clock.
Contact News Talk 93 FM today via phone at 876-927-1660, extension 2475, or 876-427-9955. Email us at newstalk93fmsales@gmail.com. Visit our website at www.newstalk93fm.net.
Hey, it's Mike Danforth, executive producer of Wait, Don't Tell Me. Here's a great way to get the perks of being an NPR producer without doing any of the work. Join NPR Plus. With NPR Plus, you get extended interviews, inside looks at your favorite shows, and more. All while supporting NPR and never having to pull an all-nighter. Or if you work on one of the news shows, an all-morninger. Sign up at plus.npr.org.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corva Coleman. A federal judge has blocked President Trump a second time from trying to deploy National Guard troops to Oregon. Steve Futterman reports the two rulings block the deployment of Oregon and then California National Guard troops.
The move by the Trump administration comes after a federal judge, a Trump appointee, blocked deployment of Oregon National Guard troops. Sunday night, the same judge blocked the attempt to use the California Guard troops, saying it was an attempt to circumvent her order. California Attorney General Rob Bonta.
This move is the latest example of Trump's blatant and repeated overreach of power.
Oregon has been fighting any deployment of troops. For NPR News, I'm Steve Futterman in Los Angeles.
Separately, President Trump is calling up hundreds of National Guard troops from Texas. He's deploying the Texas troops to Illinois against the wishes of Illinois officials. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says Trump's deployment of National Guard troops to different states, even though local officials don't want them, should be called, quote, Trump's invasion. This is the sixth day of the federal government shutdown. Republican lawmakers want Democrats to agree to a short-term spending bill. Democrats want Republicans to agree to rescind some of their cuts to federal health care spending. NPR's Deepa Shivaram says the Senate is expected to meet and vote today on another spending plan, but it's not likely to succeed.
There hasn't been any movement towards any kind of agreement or common ground over the weekend. So while the Senate is getting together today, Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson isn't convening the House. He says that he won't call in his own members until Senate Democrats agree to reopen the government.
NPR's Deepa Shivaram reporting. Despite the shutdown, the U.S. Supreme Court convicted for her role in any of Epstein's actions. Stocks open mixed this morning on news of another big computer chip deal. NPR's Scott Horsley reports the Dow Jones Industrial Average slipped about 260 points in early trading.
Chipmaker AMD has reached an agreement to supply high-performance chips to the artificial intelligence startup OpenAI. The deal is expected to generate tens of billions of dollars in revenue for AMD, while also allowing OpenAI to accelerate its data processing build-out. OPEC and its allies have announced a modest boost in oil production. Starting next month, the cartel will pump an extra 137,000 barrels a day. Retail gasoline prices in the U.S. are down. And for the second time in about a week, there's a big recall on corn dogs. This one covers nearly 4 million pounds of chicken corn dogs sold by Foster Poultry Farms. Last week, Hilscher Brands issued a similar recall. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
On Wall Street, the Dow is now down 280 points. This is NPR. The Utah legislature is set to meet in special session today. One item is a redistricting issue. A state judge struck down a prior Utah congressional map, saying lawmakers had disregarded the intent of voters. This redistricting effort has been underway in Utah for several years. Just hours after naming the members of his government, France's newest prime minister has resigned. He's the fourth to go in a little over a year. NPR's Eleanor Beardsley reports his resignation has shocked the nation and plunged France into an even deeper political crisis.
Sébastien Lecornu stepped down, saying he could not work in such a divided parliament where no party has an outright majority, but each is pushing for its entire program to be adopted. The far right and left control the biggest voting blocs, but there is no agreement on how to lead France out of its massive debt crisis. Different party leaders are also posturing for position just a year and a half ahead of a presidential election where Emmanuel Macron cannot seek another term. Speaking to the nation, the newly resigned Lecornu said France could succeed if there was less ego, more humility, and a spirit of compromise.
Mais il faut toujours préférer son pays.
You must prefer your country to your party, he said. Listen to your base, of course, but put the French people first. Eleanor Beardsley, NPR News, Paris.
This year's Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine has been awarded to 3 scientists, Americans Mary Brunko and Fred Ramsdell, and Japan's Shimon Sakaguchi. They're being honored for work discovering how the body's immune system is regulated so it does not attack our organs. This is NPR.
Listen to this podcast sponsor-free on Amazon Music with a Prime membership or any podcast app by subscribing to NPR News Now Plus at plus.npr.org. That's plus.npr.org.
Make we keep Jamaica clean. Me as we keep Jamaica clean. Keep Jamaica clean. Our duty to keep our island clean. Mobile to Kingston, sidewalk and beach. Bag it, then it, recycle it, please. Proper garbage disposal, make we do it. Keep Jamaica clean. Keep Jamaica. A message from the National Solid Waste Management Authority.
Are you looking for exceptional dental care? Then look no further, because Wellington Dental is here to serve you. We offer dental care for both adults and children. At Wellington Dental, we know that a visit to the dentist might be mind-boggling, but don't let that stop you from getting the dental care you need. We have trained therapists to help alleviate your anxiety and make you feel so relaxed. You feel like you're at home. Wellington Dental, located at 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. We look forward to serving you.
Kenmore Shoe Manufacturing Company Limited, located in Greendale, Spanish Town. We manufacture custom-made clothes and shoes. For the best quality in uniform, corporate wear, safety, and school shoes, visit Kenmore Shoe Manufacturing Company Limited. Kenmore, the best for sure. Call us today at 876-632-8018. Email us at ken_mor2005@gmail.com. Kenmore, the best for sure.
Bag it, bin it, and we'll collect it. Properly bag, tie, and place household waste in a container and store it in areas easily accessible to our sanitation workers. This waste management tip is brought to you by the NSWMA. One Jamaica. Make we clean up the place.
Actor broadcaster Justin Hahn invites you to join him on a journey of music, interviews, and positive thoughts that will move your feet, warm your heart, and revive your soul. Tune in to the Vintage Lounge, Sundays, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. The lyrics, the music, and the mood will take you back to the wonderful memories of days gone by. Pause a while, relax, and enjoy the Vintage Lounge, Sundays, 10 a.m. to 12 noon on News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere.
Straight Up with host Conrad O'Brien live from the studios of News Talk 93 FM comes to Fit FM 96.7 Trelawney's Radio Mondays 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tune in for the news, interviews, and lively call-in interaction with the fireman Conrad O'Brien on Straight Up live from the studios of News Talk 93 FM and simulcast on Fit FM 96.7, FitFMJ8.com, Trelawney's Radio, Fit FM, your life, your music.
You know the voices. Now, relive the moment.
Can I start by asking you a very simple question?
Yes, dear. Make it very simple.
I'm not your yesterday man, and I'm not Johnny come lately. Already, you are building the Jamaica of the future.
We're ready at the University of the West Indies.
This university and the people of Jamaica are with us all the way through.
The University Archives and NT93 FM present Voices from the Archives. Weekdays at 12:30 p.m., Monday to Thursdays at 6 in the evening, and Sundays at 8 in the morning on News Talk 93 FM.
To participate on our programs, call, WhatsApp, or text us at 876-212-9824 or 876-462-0919. And go follow us on Instagram at News Talk 93 FM.
News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere.
The following hour is brought to you by Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Wellington Dental, providing dental care at its best.
Welcome back to Straight Up right here and News Talk 93 FM. We're also up live on the Conrad, that's a Conrad OB, the Fireman YouTube channel. And of course, we're also streaming live with our friends at fitfmja.com down there in Trelawney. It's that time of the morning. Welcome to our Spotlight segment. And this hour is sponsored by our friends at Wellington Dental. So welcome to our feature Spotlight. Zalika Jess is a Jamaican attorney and a politician of the People's National Party, PNP, who has been serving as a member of parliament for St. Elizabeth North East since September 2025. Since her decisive selection as a PNP candidate in 2023, Jess has quickly emerged as a rising voice within the party, known for her commitment to social equity and community-based initiative. As the opposition spokesperson and justice, Jess has also been signaled out by political commentator as a capable negotiator and a potential key player in Jamaica constitutional reform effort. Her recent statements and action reflect a broader push by the PNP to showcase leadership noted in legal expertise and grassroots accountability. Without further ado, let me welcome newly minted spokesperson and justice, Madam Zalika Jess. Hi, Zalika Jess. Hi, MP. How are you doing, ma'am?
Hi, good morning, Obi. Thank you so very much for having me. Good morning to your listeners. Good morning, Jamaica.
Indeed. Thanks for coming on. And Madam Attorney, Justice Spokesperson, and MP Jess, what happened? We're seeing the Gleaner front page. Well, before I go there, let me congratulate you on your, the appointment to the Shadow Cabinet in this very, very interesting role. One that certainly has a lot of heavy lifting for you to carry, because we know that justice is indeed a sticking point here in Jamaica, People always seeking justice and so on. How do you feel with this appointment, the trust and the confidence that has been reposed in you by your party leader, opposition leader Mark Golding?
Well, you rightly said, Obi, that justice is an area that really permeates every aspect of life for each and every single Jamaican. And so there can be no movement, there can be no change, there can be no existence without justice. And so it really stretches right across the board and affects every single facet of life. So I am indeed thankful to the leader of the opposition and the party leader for reposing such trust and confidence in my abilities to handle this shadow portfolio.
Indeed. Madam Spokesperson, a lot of people would normally say, pardon me, older folks basically be in trust with this kind of responsibility, whether it's in government or certainly even the role of shuttering such a portfolio. The fact is that not a lot of people understand that or know that, for example, when you practice in the legal world, for 10 years, once you're there for 10 years, you're described as a senior attorney. But because of your youth, and a lot of people normally study law after they would attain a first or second degree, but you went to law school straight out of high school. Talk to us about that and your experience in order to carry this portfolio responsibility.
I started high school at 10 years old. I started law at 17 years old.
Wow.
At 22 years old, I actually opened my own legal practice. And so I have been practicing for in excess of 10 years, actually. I'm in November going to be 15 years at the bar. So notwithstanding my age, I am actually senior counsel, because in law, you are regarded as senior counsel not based on your physical age, but rather your age at the bar. And so in terms of my experience at the bar, then you are looking at almost 15 years of experience. So in that respect, for more reasons than one as well, one could reasonably and understandably say that I do bring a certain level of experience to the position, because my practice in real life actually stretches right across the board. I'm not confined to only one area of the law. I have always been exposed to various matters. Sometimes I suppose those on your program would have known me for my advocacy on matters concerning land law. But my background and my day-to-day practice involves every single aspect of the law, really. The only area that I do not practice currently is international law, but I am actually trained in that respect as well.
Wow. So
when I studied international law, I represented the country on international law in other countries such as India, Thailand, the United States of America. So my background is actually quite extensive, but my age tends to beguile and to fool persons into thinking that I come from a place of perhaps junior or lacking in experience. That is not so.
Good, because here you are, and many people would not know that you have actually represented Jamaica on the international scene in terms of international law and so on. So you have your resume indeed is quite a rich one, Madam Zalika, just MP of Northeastern St. Elizabeth. Talking about your experience and your practice, I just get a message here on my phone. Someone is asking, now that you're a member of parliament and you have this responsibility of shuttering the justice portfolio, if I know the answer, but they ask the question nonetheless, are you still practicing if your law practice is still up and ready for business?
I do practice on a limited scale since entering the political arena. So it's not just since I become the member of parliament, but since putting my hat into the fray, as one would say, I have had to scale down. So I don't do certain matters anymore. For example, you're not going to see me in the criminal courts anymore. And I will have ceased that area of my practice from probably in excess of 3 years now.
Okay, but in terms of your office is indeed up and running and you're open for business. Good.
Yes.
All right. Excellent.
And I think that's important, because it means that when I speak on aspects concerning the justice system, I speak from a place of experience, and not just from technocrats who have come to me indicating that this is an issue, but because I am in the midst of it, it's easier for me to understand the issues that plague the system and to propose solutions that I know will actually reap real difference in the lives of people who must interact with justice.
Good. Now, Madam Attorney, spokesperson Justice Delika Jess, the front page of the Grandma of North Street, the Gleaner, has here. Send Jess, political commentator urges Golden to have justice spokesperson represent party in meeting with Chuck and constitutional reform. And it goes on to say, political commentator Clyde Williams is advising opposition leader Mark Jefferson Golden to send you there and so on. How do you wrap your head around this constitutional matter that is fresh, very, very fresh, going into the election, and that stalemate that was there? Do you believe there is a balm in Gilead on this one?
The constitutional issues affecting Jamaica at present are significant issues which will determine how we move forward as a country, how it is that we will represent ourselves in this modern dispensation, how it is that we see ourselves being represented in this modern dispensation. And so I believe that it is important for the government to not just speak about building consensus in words, but to also demonstrate by action that they are serious and that they are committed to the task at hand. I'm going to speak from my personal perspective in this regard, and not so much from the perspective of the People's National Party, in saying that my very strong view on this matter is that it is only fitting that the Prime Minister really ought properly to seek to engage with his opposition equal on this matter. I think it smacks almost of disrespect to seek to relegate the office of the leader of the opposition in a way that would suggest that that office ought to have dialogue with the Prime Minister's junior or the Prime Minister's inferior. I do not know that it bodes well for that atmosphere of camaraderie, of respect, of commitment to the task that needs to be had in order to ensure that we achieve the goals that we set out on. So quite frankly, for me, it's not about questioning my competence or whether I am equipped to deal with those issues, because I think everyone who knows me, who understands my resume, knows that that would not be a question. I think for me, it is more a question of whether the Prime Minister is serious about constitutional reform and whether it is that his actions line up and are consistent with his words. Because you cannot, on one hand, speak about wanting for the leader of the opposition to work with you, as indicated by the Prime Minister in his swearing-in speech. But yet, in the same breath, when it's time for both of you to work together, you seek to relegate him, yes, to your junior. And I think that quite frankly, is unacceptable in my own personal view.
And hence, Madam's spokesperson and Justice, you immediately one could see where even the thought of this moving ahead is hitting a snag already, because there's some aspect of relegating. The commitment is not being showed here. And of course, we know that there are major sticking points. For example, the opposition said that, listen, they want to have a total severing from the monarch, that is to include moving away from the CCJ as it is away from the king as well. On the other hand, the governing the government of Jamaica, they are basically advocating otherwise. So you definitely need that meeting of the minds with the two leaders.
I think clearly the Prime Minister has not necessarily started out on the note that would suggest that it is going to be an easy ride ahead. What I do know, however, is that the leader of the opposition is committed to Jamaica and committed to playing his part in ensuring that we move along the right path. So I do have trust. I do believe that we should be able to have movement on the issue, but clearly it is unfortunate that we would have started off on this note based on the action that the Prime Minister would have taken. It doesn't leave a good taste in the mouth of discerning onlookers.
Okay.
But as it relates to the two significant issues where we are at variance, these are issues which will require quite a bit of consideration. It will require not just negotiation, but actually consensus, because for the government to move forward, it needs the consensus of the opposition. They do not have the two-thirds majority in the parliament now. So it's important that we all come together and huddle at the table and see how best we can actually have a dialogue in a respectful manner, and the way to start that dialogue really ought properly for the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition to sit and set the tone for us to follow thereafter. Because these are critical issues, these are sensitive issues which will need to be ventilated. The issue as to whether we allow the Privy Council to remain as our final court of appeal, even though they have told us pretty much to go, or whether we have a final court of appeal here in Jamaica, or whether we actually proceed and sign on to the appellate jurisdiction of the CCJ. Those are all matters which are critical and need to be discussed in a respectful manner.
Absolutely, I can tell you, Madam Zalika, just MP, my screen is lighting up. So many people are basically expressing confidence in your competence and indeed sharing the sentiments that you are saying that the Prime Minister show some amount of disrespect there and does not show the commitment for full cooperation. Those are some of the comments that are coming in here and our feed. Zalika, you hit the ground running, so to speak. A lot of things basically came up on the horizon. But before I go into those, last week we all, woke up to the sad news of the passing of Justice Lawrence, which you basically issue a statement from. Would you like to say a few words on that, please?
For us in the legal system, and I hesitate because the truth is this is a matter which really has shocked the collective minds and hearts of Jamaicans right across the board, not just those of us who are in the judicial system or in the legal system. Mm-hmm. We have been faced in recent weeks with a number of similar reports, and so it is a reason to cause us to pause and to take stock of where we are, how it is that we can be more present to make sure that we're our brothers and sisters keepers. Because the truth is, I am struggling, to be frank with you, to find the words as it relates to Her Honor, Miss Ruth Lawrence. And I struggle because I am replaying in my mind conversations I've had with those who are close to her. I am replaying and reliving the shock, the pain, the anguish that stemmed from what transpired a few days ago. And so I pause again to once more express my deepest condolences to her family members, to her friends in the judiciary, her colleagues, those who went to law school with her, those who were previously serving as orderlies to her, and generally, by extension, the persons who she would have touched. You know, I remember someone sharing with me that she really wasn't just an ordinary judge. She had such a compassionate heart and a compassionate spirit for justice, whereby an individual who was in the justice system, who having faced her before, and he suffered from certain mental challenges. And every single month, without fail, she would ask for that individual to be brought before her, just so that he was not lost in the system, because she understood that he lacked the capacity, and it's easy for those type of persons to become lost in the system. She went above and beyond the call of duty. In a nutshell, that's what I'm saying. And so it's really something which has shocked those of us who have had interactions with her, as well as those who understand the mettle of the woman and her commitment to justice. So it's a difficulty, and it continues to be a difficult time.
Indeed, and on behalf of us here, we also add our voice in the condolence to Justice Lawrence's family, immediate and extended. Which lead me into another area, Madam Spokesperson Justice Zalika Jess. The whole business of some things that impact the justice system, as it were. Early in the piece, I think it's your first communique, or the public the communication that you sent out. This compulsory sentence on all right, let's hold that. Let's go to the break and come back. Stay with us, please.
News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere. The time on News Talk 93 FM is 10:30.
Contact News Talk 93 FM today via phone at 876-927-1660, extension 2475, or 876-427-9955. Email us at newstalk93fmsales@gmail.com. Visit our website at www.newstalk93fm.net.
Property owners, pay your property tax arrears now. Visit your nearest tax office, Linstead Old Harbor and Spanish Town. Pay by cash, debit, or credit card, and take your TRN if you're paying by check. Property tax pays for street lights, garbage collection and disposal, parochial road rehabilitation, and beautification. Contact your tax office or the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation at 876-984-3111 or 984-3112. Avoid legal actions. Pay your property taxes now.
News Talk 93 FM now provides a reminder to ensure your safety in the event of a hurricane this season.
During a hurricane,
if the house shows signs of breaking up, stay under a table or stand in a sturdy closet. Be prepared for material falling from the ceiling. If your glass windows have not been boarded up, place a large, heavy object in front of the window to protect yourself and others from splintering glass. If you're in a two-story house, stay on the first floor. If you're in a multiple-story building, take refuge on the first or second floor. Interior stairwells and areas around elevator shafts are usually the strongest part of a building.
That was a reminder for precautionary measures to ensure your safety in the event of a hurricane this season.
Are you looking for exceptional dental care? Then look no further, because Wellington Dental is here to serve you. We offer dental care for both adults and children. At Wellington Dental, we know that a visit to the dentist might be mind-boggling, but don't let that stop you from getting the dental care you need. We have trained therapists to help alleviate your anxiety and make you feel so relaxed. You feel like you're at home. Wellington Dental Dental, located at 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. We look forward to serving you.
Join News Talk 93 FM this and every Sunday at 2 p.m. for On Campus, a weekly snapshot of happenings and highlights from the Mono campus of the University of the West Indies. Tune in at 2 p.m. on Sundays as we explore groundbreaking events, trailblazing trends, and interesting personalities from the UWI Mono campus, inspiring excellence, producing leaders. That's On Campus, a weekly snapshot here on News Talk 93 FM.
To participate on our programs, call, WhatsApp, or text us at 876-212-9824 or 876-462-0919. And go follow us on Instagram at NewsTalk93FM. The following hour is brought to you by Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Wellington Dental, providing dental care at its best.
Thanks a lot for joining us as we continue to be with you here in News Talk 93 FM, and thanks to our partners who are here with us. Also remind you to join us on the Conrad Obi, that's the Conrad Obi, the Fireman YouTube channel, as well as we stream there. It's a new channel we're building out, so we are happy for the expression that we're getting so far. Please like and share. We have online with us newly minted Member of Parliament for Northeastern St. Elizabeth, and indeed also newly minted Justice Spokesperson, Attorney at Law Zalika Jess, who is joining us and talking to us about a range of issues. So let's rejoin her. Thanks for holding, Madam Attorney.
Absolutely.
Good. So spokesperson and Justice Zalika Jess, you really hit the ground running, as I said before. And I think your opening salvo was dealing with this mandatory sentence as it relates to what we call toy gun or fake gun and so on. You can give me the correct term there. And you believe that this mandatory sentence is draconian. What's your issue with it, please?
You are correct. The very first issue that I would have articulated would have been last week, Tuesday morning, and it touched and concerned the mandatory minimum of 15 years, which would have been introduced by the amendment to the Firearms Act about 2-3 years ago. Now, what that amendment did was to essentially remove the discretion from the judge. And so as it relates to any imitation weapon, which is the term that is used in the Act, and by imitation weapon, they are in fact referring to and including under its consideration what we commonly refer to as toy gun or water gun or anything of that nature. So in essence, what has happened?
So the water gun that, for example, somebody like me par with when I was a boy, if me have that now, me gone for 15 years.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That is the end result of the legislation. So what has happened is that the judge no longer can bear in consideration the particular circumstances, the unique features of the case, and make an assessment based on that. Once it's almost like strict liability now, almost, in the sense that once you are found guilty, as in found in possession, then the automatic, and I do mean the automatic sentence, is a minimum of 15 years.
That's what you call draconian at its best.
That is what I have referred to as being harsh and yes, draconian in its implementation.
All right.
And you can understand, Obi, that because oftentimes people will hear you make certain utterances of this nature, and instantly you hear from those who perhaps do not wish to apply the thinking aspect of their brains, and they will come out and they will say, oh, there goes the People's National Party again. PNP don't want the crime to be on the decline. But this has nothing to do with crime. This has everything to do with innocent persons who may very well find themselves, knowingly or unknowingly, be made criminals because of an unjust law that is on the books. If you think about it, so many persons can innocently find themselves in confrontation with the law as it relates to this issue. That parent who buys an outfit for his or her child who wishes to participate in career day as a police officer.
Yes.
And so without even thinking, just automatically, also whether it is through a relative from overseas or whatever the case may be, gives the child a toy gun as part of his uniform on the basis that they're simply participating in career day, can and will, if the police gets involved, find themselves subject to the law and facing 15 years. You talk about, again, persons who are innocent, they have no intent to commit harm. They have no desire to make mischief and to cause any form of criminal results from their actions. But yet, for whatever reason, they find themselves in possession of whether it is an imitation gun or even a gun that was legitimately in the possession of a, let's say, licensed firearm holder. And I'll give you an example. You may very well be, as a parent, a licensed firearm holder. You go bird shooting, for example, and you have now perhaps turned your back a little bit and you're dealing with something unbeknownst to you. Your child, who might be 17 or 18, let's say 18, takes up that very same firearm, just probably take a picture, posing with it, as the young people can be quite mischievous. They don't mean to use it, they're just taking a picture with it, and they're found in possession. They're looking at, again, mandatory minimum of 15 years. My position is that judges really ought properly, as they have done in the past, to be able to be trusted enough to know that based on different circumstances, different punishments should be applied. You can't punish the same man who took a toy gun to hold up an individual in the same way as a parent who bought a toy gun to give his or her child for career day as part of a police uniform. So in essence, the position that I have taken, and my strong view, is that the punishment must really fit the crime. So it's unjust, it is unfair for us to have a mandatory minimum as it relates to these type of matters without consideration being capable of being had for the particular circumstances or the unique features of the case.
Good. You know, Madam Attorney, Justice Spokesperson and MP Zalika Jess, we do this program even when we know the answer, but we are catering for the wider audience. So I put this to you. My listeners now will saying, but this was passed in the Parliament, and indeed the opposition sat in the Parliament. Talk to Jamaica about how a legislation like this, a law like this, could pass through even if the opposition opposes, or what would something like this require from the opposition?
I always say, and quite frankly, it is something that I find quite unfortunate. It's almost as though once it is that you raise an issue, even where persons understand and accept that there is a glaring issue, there is almost a knee-jerk reaction to try and cast the blame in some respect on the part of the opposition. The fact of the matter is, I believe that the starting place has to be is that, one, we accept that there is an issue with the law. That's a starting place. For me, I'm not so much concerned about what would have transpired before. I'm not so much concerned about who would have voted for it. But we do note, and we have to bear in mind, that the government had an overwhelming majority at that time in the House. And so, regardless of the actions of the opposition, they would have been able to pass that particular piece of legislation. But for me, as I said before, I'm not so much concerned in ascribing blame. I'm more concerned in seeing how best we can work together to have an amendment made to an act that is really and truly reeling injustice right across the board, because we see persons, innocent persons, coming before us in our offices, in our day-to-day existence. We interact with them who have found themselves on the wrong side of the law inadvertently, and they do not deserve to be punished in the same way that hardened criminals ought to and should be. So let's focus on how, and that's why even last week when I first spoke about the issue, my position then, as it is now, is that we need to have a national conversation on this matter. And I'm very happy to see that persons have been speaking about it in greater frequency and at regular intervals now over the past few days, because that's what we want. We want people to talk about the issues that affect us as a country and to actually be part of the national conversation, because when you become engaged, that's one of the biggest driving forces to achieving the solution that we all seek. So let's continue to have the conversation as to how we can have these unfair laws on the books amended.
Indeed, Justice spokesperson, Madam Zalika. No, ordinarily, I understand what you just said, but ordinarily, what kind of majority would something like this need to pass? Just a simple majority?
Just a simple majority, and that's why I said that with or without the participation of the opposition, this is a piece of legislation that the government would have had no difficulty in getting passed. They simply used their majority, their overwhelming majority at the time. People seem to forget that there was only 14 members of the opposition in the parliament in the last constitution of the parliament. And so there was really no need for, regardless of what position the opposition would have taken, the government would have been able to pass this act. And that is exactly what happened. The government used its majority to pass the legislation.
So it would be just similarly to what we saw even the other day with the government appointed Mrs. Olness as the Speaker of the House. Something just as simple as that.
All right.
All right. Good. There is also, Madam Attorney, Justice Spokesperson Zalika, you're really and truly on fire, because there are so many things that you're out there. I was counting the other morning and I look and see where you have captured the headline, I think 3 or 4 mornings in a row with the major flagship news outfits in this country. So I want to commend you bigly on that, to use the man up north phrase. Which leads me to another concern of yours, that of your colleague, your colleague who ran in the last election, Dr. Ajay Dixon, who is a medical doctor down there at Maypen Regional Hospital. What's your concern and that? What's your being with that one?
I have great concerns as it relates to this particular issue. I've indicated in a previous release that it undermines, the actions taken really undermine civic participation. And when you think about it, the Prime Minister has spoken in other forums about wanting to attract the best and the brightest that Jamaica has to offer. And that was the justification given when they increased the salary for parliamentarians by 200-300%. They wanted the best and the brightest. Dr. Dixon represents the best and the brightest in his community, and he has offered himself for service. That's what we want. Unfortunately, these actions seem to suggest that instead of rewarding service, we are punishing persons who step forward to serve. And so I have grave difficulties. I believe that it sends the wrong message, the wrong signal But even aside from that, on a strictly legal basis, we do not know that the government is on firm legal footing in taking the actions that they have taken, because we have seen where in other jurisdictions that subscribe to the very same legal systems as Jamaica, jurisdictions such as Barbados,
yes,
they have challenged the constitutionality of similar staff orders. And let me remind those who listen, the Constitution is the supreme law of Jamaica, meaning that any subsidiary legislation, any regulation, any staff orders, those are subject to the Constitution. And insofar as they breach or violate the Constitution, they will be struck down by the. And so that has happened in other Caribbean jurisdictions where the matter was brought before the court. The court actually found it to be unconstitutional. The staff orders were unconstitutional. They violated the freedom of expression and freedom of association provisions, which are enshrined in our Constitution. So from that standpoint alone, then we know that there is shaky legal ground on which the government stands in making the order for the doctor to be interdicted. But there are other legal issues that play. I won't propose to go into every single aspect. I believe that I'm limited somewhat in terms of what I can say on this issue, but suffice it to say, I do trust and hope that good sense will prevail and that the government will not necessarily allow us to waste taxpayers' money once again, because the government does not have a good track record of success in court.
Indeed. I must also say that I saw two articles over the weekend. One with Dr. Taylor, and certainly one that was basically quoting Senator Lambert Brown a whole lot. I must say I disagree with Dr. Taylor's point of view, and I believe that Lambert Brown was really spot on. And I engaged Lamy, and I am hoping to have Senator Brown here to talk about this. And Wednesday, he being the premier, or certain, well, I'd use it without any form of trying to downplay it. I believe Lamy is the premier trade unionist right here in Jamaica that is practicing. So he has something to say on it. So I'd seek to also ventilate that a little bit more. So all in all, Madam Attorney, spokesperson, and Justice Zalika Jess, and of course newly minted Member of Parliament down there in Northeast St. Elizabeth, of which I gather your people are so proud. What are you are out, on a trot, blazing as it were. Is this the way that you plan to really look at all the issues to keep things front and center in the eyes of the Jamaican people? Or it's just the early euphoria that is there, that pumping the adrenaline? Or you plan to really carry through your stint with this vigor and vitality, as it were?
I approach every single task that I undertake with 100% commitment. And so one can expect the very same vim, vigor, and vitality that I started out with. That will be the very same way that I end my portfolio responsibilities. I don't know how to do anything by having one foot in and one foot out. So Jamaica can expect that it is a new day, it is a new dawn, and this current crop of opposition spokespersons will certainly be front and center at all the issues that affect our respective portfolio.
One quick thing that coming out from somebody down in St. Elizabeth there in Santa Cruz, Madam Attorney, MP Jess, and spokesperson and Justice, asking about, for example, commitment that you made about water. They're saying that your party is not in office, and they know that there will be some turbulence there. Anything that you wish to say on that? You were also in the news recently talking about that.
Water is one of the most critical issues, or rather the lack of water is one of the most critical issues that we face here in northeastern St. Elizabeth. I am working very, very strongly but quietly behind the scenes, and by the end of this month, I propose to actually make a public statement as it relates to the state of our water infrastructure. I don't wish to speak too much about it now, but I expect that by the end of the month, I will be able to provide what I hope my constituents will regard as good news on some of the issues. Clearly, it's a long-standing issue, and I will not be able to fix everything all at once, and I won't be able to address all the areas all at once. But I can assure you that this is a matter which has my utmost attention, and there are discussions which are taking place outside of the public scope, but in a few weeks, you will hear more about it.
Can I get a commitment from you, Madam Attorney MP Zalika, just that you'll give him the scoop, the first scoop on that?
I absolutely will.
All right. All the best. Thanks a lot and enjoy. Congratulations once again. All right. On behalf of all of us here at News Talk 93 FM. Thanks a lot. God bless you, ma'am. All right. So that's Attorney at Law and newly minted Member of Parliament for Northeastern St. Elizabeth, also spokesperson Justice Zalika Jess. You heard of her pedigree, started high school at 10, entered law school at 17, and, so on. Just a fine academic record that she boasts, and in terms of her legal practice, certainly one of the best in Jamaica. She specializes in a lot of land matters these days, but she's rounded. She also spoke to us about her, representing Jamaica internationally in the field of law and so on. So therefore, we talk about a young woman who is quite rounded. She's also a senior attorney. She has about 15 years under her belt at the bar. And of course, she also reminds us that once you practice for 10 years in the system here in Jamaica, I don't know if it's universal, but certainly here in Jamaica, once you have 10 years under your belt, you are seen as a senior attorney or a senior counsel. So therefore, she is well up to the task. You heard her. And indeed, I believe that Mark Jefferson Golden once again identify a winner in Zalika Jess to shadow this portfolio. My name is Conrad O'Brien. They call me the Fireman. We go up until 12 midday. You're listening to the program straight up right here at News Talk 93 FM. And of course, we're streaming live via the Conrad OB, the Fireman Facebook page. We're also broadcasting live with Fit FM out of Trelawney. All right, so join us, stick and stay with us for the duration of the program. We're going to return to take your calls. The numbers are 876-212-9824. That's 876-212-9824, 876-462-0919. In the interim, let me look at some of your comments here. So, Sister Shanice, the Sister Shanice show, and she's saying, grand day, Conrad and family. Sister Shanice here, listening from the UK. Hi, Sister Shanice. It's a pleasure. Thanks a lot for joining in, and indeed we invite you to like and share. All right, so Gaza Security 3238. Good morning, Sir O'Brien. Love the reasoning. All right, we're indeed happy that we were able to bring that to you. Diane Wilby saying, good morning, Mr. Conrad O'Brien. We need divine intervention. The real is saying, mighty God. And I think I may have read that one before. And somebody is saying that, Conrad the Fireman, where are you watching from? All right, so we get that. Persons are saying, it's Marie. Yes, Jess is capable, but the PM should meet with the leader of opposition. Then if others are to come into the fray, then so be it. All right. Those are some other ththings that are happening. It's all coming through there. Somebody else is saying it's Okay, I read that one. Somebody else is saying, didn't the PM say that he wanted Mark to reach out to him regarding matters of governance? All right. So we invite you to keep your comments coming. I'm very, very happy for those expressions. We got some people who are listening in Georgia. Thanks for joining us. I want to say hi to Dawn and to Marlon, who is there, Ali as well. Thanks for joining us. And also, we understand that we have listeners down there in Vermont as well in the United States of America. All right. So James and the crew there want to say hi and good morning to you all. Again, the lines are open. The numbers are 876-212-9824. That's 876-212-9824 and 876-462-0919. I want to say good morning to a young man who helped me with some good work over the weekend. All right? Won't mention your name here, but certainly you know yourself, and thanks a lot. You're quite capable, and I'm indeed happy that I had engaged you to help me with those chores around the house. I'm indeed delighted for that, and thank God we were able to forge that partnership here. I must say that that person easily saying no, actually met him here through the program, one of my listeners, and I engaged him, and indeed in him I'm well pleased based on the diligence that he constructs his work with. All right, so we hope we always want to have more of those persons here. Let's go to the 11 o'clock break. When we come back, we take your calls.
The preceding hour was brought to you by Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Wellington Dental, providing dental care at its best.
News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere. The time on News Talk 93 FM is 11 o'clock.
Contact News Talk 93 FM today via phone at 876-927-1660, extension 2475, or 876-427-9955. Email us at newstalk93fmsales@gmail.com. Visit our website at www.newstalk93fm.net.
It's Mike Danforth, executive producer of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. Here's a great way to get the perks of being an NPR producer without doing any of the work. Join NPR Plus. With NPR Plus, you get extended interviews, inside looks at your favorite shows, and more. All while supporting NPR and never having to pull an all-nighter. Or if you work on one of the news shows, an all-morninger. Sign up at plus.npr.org.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corva Coleman. The state of Illinois and the city of Chicago are suing the Trump administration over President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops. Officials in the city and the state say they don't want the troops and that they're not needed. Some of the troops are members of the Texas National Guard. This comes after a federal judge blocked Trump from deploying any National Guard troops to the state of Oregon. This is day 6 of the federal government shutdown. Lawmakers cannot agree on a short-term spending bill. Democrats want Republicans to rescind some of their cuts to federal health care spending before they'll sign on. Republicans want to pass a short-term spending bill first. A spending bill has already passed the House. Speaker Mike Johnson says he is not calling his members back.
There's nothing for us to negotiate. The House has done its job.
Meanwhile, the Senate is set to convene today and debate spending plans, but nothing is expected to pass. Despite the shutdown, the U.S. Supreme Court opens a new term today. NPR's Nina Totenberg reports justices will take up cases ranging from questions of presidential power to LGBTQ rights.
On the docket are a challenge to Trump's massive tariffs and a challenge to his firing of independent agency directors, an action that contradicts a unanimous Supreme Court decision dating back almost a century. Also before the court court is a case that could end what's left of the landmark Voting Rights Act, and a case that could do away with one of the few remaining laws that limits campaign fundraising. Also likely to end up before the court is the question it didn't decide last year, testing whether the president has the power to limit the constitutional provision guaranteeing citizenship to every person born in the United States. Nina Totenberg, NPR News, Washington.
Italy is urging President Trump to drop large tariffs on pasta imports to the U.S. Italy's National Union for Farmers says the tariffs would deal a fatal blow to many Italian pasta makers. NPR's Ruth Sherlock reports the pasta tariffs also mean higher costs for American consumers.
The U.S. decision to impose an extra duty of more than 90% comes as the U.S. Department of Commerce accuses two major Italian producers of selling pasta at unfairly low prices. Italy's foreign minister has denied this characterization and says a dedicated task force had been set up to coordinate Italy's response with the European Union, which is running trade policy on behalf of the bloc. The new tariffs would raise the effective rate on most premium Italian pastas to 107%. Coldiretti, Italy's influential agribusiness association, has warned that, as well as being a fatal blow for some Italian pasta producers, it would double the cost of a plate of pasta for American families. Ruth Sherlock, NPR News, Rome.
On Wall Street, the Dow was down 90 points. This is NPR. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has adopted recommendations for vaccines for children and for COVID-19. The CDC says that toddlers should receive the chickenpox vaccination as a separate shot. That's instead of a shot that combines chickenpox with measles, mumps, and rubella. Separately, the CDC says that COVID-19 vaccines are now subject to shared decision-making with a healthcare professional. This is to weigh the risks and benefits of getting the jab. It's an extra step compared with past CDC recommendations. The federal agency is adopting recommendations that were made by a panel of outside advisors more than 2 weeks ago. A prominent medical publisher has retracted a study suggesting apple cider vinegar can help people lose weight. NPR's John Hamilton explains.
The study was published by the BMJ Group in March of 2024. It looked at 120 overweight or obese people in Lebanon. Those who got daily doses of apple cider vinegar for 3 months reportedly lost about 9% of their initial body weight. News outlets around the world covered the research. Within weeks, though, scientists began posting critiques saying the results were implausible and marred by errors. Then they took their concerns to the editors of the journal, BMJ Nutrition, Prevention, and Health. The paper was retracted in September of this year. Apple cider vinegar remains a popular remedy, though, thanks to endorsements from celebrities including Kim Kardashian, Katy Perry, and Dr. Mehmet Oz. John Hamilton, NPR News.
And I'm Corva Coleman, NPR News from Washington.
Listen to this podcast sponsor-free on Amazon Music with a Prime membership or any podcast app by subscribing to NPR News Now Plus at plus.npr.org. That's plus.npr.org.
Kenmore Shoe Manufacturing Company Limited, located in Greendale, Spanish Town. We manufacture custom-made clothes and shoes. For the best quality in uniform, corporate wear, safety, and school shoes, visit Kenmore Shoe Manufacturing Company Limited. Kenmore, the best for sure. Call us today at 876-632-8018. Email us at ken_mor2005@gmail.com. Kenmore, the best for sure.
Property owners, pay your property tax arrears now. Visit your nearest tax office, Linstead Old Harbor and Spanish Town. Pay by cash, debit, or credit card, and take your TRN if you're paying by check. Property tax pays for street lights, garbage collection and disposal, parochial road rehabilitation, and beautification. Contact your tax office or the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation at 876-984-3111 or 984-3112. Avoid legal actions. Pay your property taxes now.
It's the Real Rock with Steve James. If you're in Jamaica chilling, you've got to tune in to the Real Rock with Steve James every single Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. on News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere. Award. Do you love games,
riddles,
trivia,
giveaways,
prizes,
and surprises?
Well, tune in to the most exciting game show
On your radio.
Fantastic Fridays.
Call in to answer questions.
Challenge a friend in a rivals battle.
Join the discussion on Talk the Ting with Kim.
Listen out for the hottest songs with MV's Top 3.
Let's have some fun and win
big prizes.
Listen every Friday,
5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
on News Talk 93 FM.
Straight Up with host Conrad O'Brien live from the studios of News Talk 93 FM comes to Fit FM 96.7 Chilonis Radio Mondays 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tune in for the news, interviews, and lively call-in interaction with the fireman Conrad O'Brien on Straight Up live from the studios of News Talk 93 FM and simulcast on Fit FM 96.7, FitFMJA.com, Chilonis Radio, Fit FM, your life, your music.
News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere.
This hour is brought to you by Kenmore Manufacturing Company Limited, Greendale, Spanish Town, manufacturing industrial and corporate uniform and shoes.
Welcome back to Straight Up right here and News Talk 93 FM. My name is Conrad O'Brien, they call me the fireman. We go up until 12. The program, of course, is Straight Up, and we're coming to you live from the studios of News Talk 93 FM here at UWI Mona campus. We're also up live on the Conrad OB, the fireman YouTube channel. We're also simulcast with our partners at Fit FM. Indeed, we invite you to join us and all the outfit there. We have callers in line. Let's go there. Hello, welcome caller.
Yes, sir. Morning.
Hi, Milton. How are you doing, sir?
Not too bad. First, let's start overseas first.
Mm-hmm.
Hamas Sunday is ready. We have been told that the peace treat, the ceasefire is soon to be in effect.
That's what we have been hearing.
Yeah,
we await to see if that will come to fruition, because we have heard that many a times before.
Yes, sir. And besides, the Hamas people should put down their arm. But if they are the authority in Gaza and they have to put down their hand, all the security will go when the gang and everybody are flare up now. There has to be a central authority in the place, man. How will go on?
Well, it's a very interesting scenario, sir, because certainly the UN and so on, would have expected them to play a more integral role in terms of finding that middle ground that you just spoke of. We don't know if we're seeing that kind of strength. We know what took place last week, where a lot of issues were there, and persons were not allowed to speak, and so on and so forth. So the world, indeed, through that, within that belt there, the Middle East belt there, certainly seems to be in some amount of turmoil. We continue to watch.
Yes, sir. Israel's amount of objective is to get rid of Hamas. And they can't get rid of Hamas. If you want to get rid of Hamas, you have to get rid of the Palestinians.
Well, certainly. Well, you see, what happened, they don't mind, basically, by way of getting to Hamas, basically annihilate the entire belt there. And that's what we have been seeing, because we have seen where, hundreds or thousands of innocent women and children have been murdered, literally murdered, and genocides have been committed in that area. But alas, we see Netanyahu continue to parade himself, and he's being hugged up by Trump and others.
And our Prime Minister too,
well,
they must have made friendship some few years back. And it can, all indications suggest that it is continuing.
Well, certainly,
sir. It starts in the room, and even not make it look no weird. Some people are defending him by saying, should he walk out, America would penalize Jamaica for that, a garden country.
Well, I don't know, sir, and that is why you find that people are even asking questions about that contract that was signed with our electoral body with Israel. Not casting an assertion, but people are asking about the close arm's length there. So
yes, sir, but
let's see.
I don't know if a little country like Belize, Jamaica go backwards in many ways, But in little Belize in 1940, in the 40s and the 50s, some Jamaican trade unions went up there to teach, to coach us people how to defend their industrial right, And if the Belize can walk out and meet now, we Jamaica representatives are afraid to walk out because America may penalize us.
The truth is, Milton. The truth is, Milton, and sometimes when you talk the harsh truth, people don't really like it because they immediately pivot to politics. But Jamaica has basically lost its rich standing in the world as a leader in international affairs. Jamaica used to be looked to basically lead that charge. And where has it gone? It's gone in thin air.
So may I ask you something now?
We need persons who are prepared to crawl on their knees.
Yes, sir. So Miss Matley, as you know, that the opposition within the Senate now. I'm asking, I'll keep substituting for somebody because the opposition should have a whip inside the Senate, Anyway, I'm going to talk about the opposition leader he released to the press last Friday.
Yeah, go ahead, Milton, because I have many callers holding.
Yes, we are to the leader, Mr. Wallace may have referred to the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, the whole conversation. Did you get that one?
Repeat?
The account to Mr. Bolin, Mr. Andrew refer him to the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs to hold conversation really the constitutional reform thing.
Yeah, I saw that, and of course, the spokesperson in Justice just opined on it a while ago, and she basically expressed a view that while her level of competence is legendary, but certainly she saw it as a sleight of hand and a disrespect.
Well, the PMP is 14 stronger. The Labour Party is 14 weaker. They must not make Mr. Wallen take the pace.
But what it also shows, Milton, and it begs the question, is Prime Minister Holness really serious about consensus and partnership? So far, his opening salvo does not suggest that at all.
No. The radio station even played part of his presentation during his inauguration, Then committed to this and that, and even say, Mark Golden, talk. So technically, he want to put the opposition leader, when they put him down to the Minister of Justice level, It should be the spokesperson and justice to speak to the Minister of Justice, as we know from tradition. So Mr. Holdings is very vindictive, And when you talk too much about somebody who him really adore, when you're talking negative about them people, they don't like you for that, So if Mark Golden and the PMP with 14 more, the JP with 14, let's make them put them down after them business, that, big man.
All right.
My argument done.
Respect. Bless you. Thank you, Milton. All right. Okay, so let's continue to take the calls. Hello, welcome caller. Welcome to Straight Up. Right here with...
Hi, Con.
Yes, Marie.
Conrad.
How are you doing, Marie?
Oh, morning.
Morning.
I'm good. Morning.
Good.
I'm to listen. So,
good.
All right.
Thanks. That's the way you jump on my new channel here. I want to say thanks, Marie. Continue to like and share it, and we invite others to do the same.
Okay. All right. You're welcome. Conrad, first of all, I want to congratulate MP Jess And I want to say kudos to her for acknowledging chain of command, for want of a better term, in regards to the meeting that the Prime Minister is proposing. Because in his inauguration speech, because I swear me hear him say, he's stretching out his hand to the leader of the opposition. So I don't know why he wants to relegate him to something other than his equal. Yeah, you are the Prime Minister, but we don't vote for Prime Ministers. So you're still, in your own right, a member of Parliament, even though you have been elevated to the status of Prime Minister by your party, right? I'm right, I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. We don't vote directly for Prime Minister, but the person who leads the party that commands the majority of the seats normally emerges as the Prime Minister. So we kind of know beforehand who will be the Prime Minister.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I see Marcus is equal also.
Absolutely. Mark Golden basically garners what? About 7,000 votes or so less than it's about 7,000 votes less the PNP got. There are thereabout. I stand corrected, but the PNP polled over 400,000 votes, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll move on. All right. So oh my God. Lose my train of thought. Okay. Netanyahu, you say, Conrad, is not regarded very highly. So them say, tell me your company, I'm gonna show you who you are. That when you do nothing wrong. You understand me? So Netanyahu is not in high regards in some circles. And right now, Israel, because of what is happening in Palestine, with the Gaza Strip and all of that, the vast inhumane treatment of the Palestinians, so show me a company, I'm tell you who you are. So, that I would say that because I don't want to disrespect. I don't want to say nothing further on that. But I'm coming closer to home now. But Conrad, we don't understand these murders, Conrad. It's like they're sending a blatant message to family members that if you mess with we are, for want of a better term,
you can't catch Quark or you catch shot or, we wipe out everybody.
Yeah, because, you won't tell me, say, whoever did it didn't know that, the house was, the population of the house, Conrad, that, you go and, you just...
They knew these persons who may have gone there. I don't know that they are total stranger. And as I also share earlier too, can you imagine this gentleman down in Westmoreland what he must be going through?
Yes.
3 children in 1 year. The loss is his daughter, 29-year-old daughter, was found murdered and stuffed in a suitcase down there in Sablama.
And he lost his sons previously. Like you said, Conrad, you lost your brother. I know you can't get over it. You lose my son and my sister over it. But you will never, that's losses that you will never, you'll never get over. And a lot of times you will say, why? And imagine, just losing 3 children, just like that. And then now this murder in the Linstead area, where even a 4-year-old Conrad, you just go open and let it not care. I don't know. I mean, we hear shootings in the U.S. with school shootings and all of that, and it makes it no less hard to deal with. But you just go, whether the dead of night, early, whatever time, and the time say you never know yet. So you send a message. Well, I don't know, Conrad. I don't know.
You see, what happened, Mary? The people's hearts are cold. And I'm going to say something to you. That is one of the reasons, okay? Everything dovetails into one, That is why we talk about body-worn cameras. Because what you want a situation that when the police officers right? Law enforcement go out there and carry out their duties. There are no questions about them carrying out their duty in a lawful way. Because when you look at a situation like this, with these fellas who do this, and they attack the police go up to them and they attack the police, we should be absolutely clear that, listen, the police are taking on marauding gunmen, and they had to basically take evasive action and defend themselves, rather than, and you could see it in glaring terms by virtue of them wearing body-worn camera. So you basically take those glitch out of the whole thing, eh?
Conrad, you see, at times, Jamaica always have this kind of hit squad, within, not all police officers, but within the JCF, there's always been like some kind of hit squad thing, and with different names at times. I remember once it was eradication squad, this, that, whatever.
They have a number of them that emerge, yes, over time.
Yeah. Rat Patrol. I don't know.
The CMU that was led by Renita Dicardo over Valentino.
As a nation, we're very good at giving local names to things. Say Conrad, in closing, during the Papa Doc de Valliere era in Haiti, right, which went over into his son. He had an elite group of hitmen called the Tantan Operators.
Yeah, man.
Right? Which it was, they were brutal, in whatever. I think even in the Philippines too.
Yes, you also had that. With what was the leader there? Oh my God.
I forgot the name. Somebody might listen, just Google or maybe then with the top of it. Yeah, always have these hit squads, and lawmakers cannot be lawbreakers. Look here, we can't. Yeah, we know the crime is terrible and all of that, but lawmakers cannot be lawbreakers, and it brings us back to the focal point of the Prime Minister and his integrity report. You understand, Conrad? You should be above reproach. Because like Mark said, I agree with him. If the head of the stream dirty, or the runoff supposed to be clean, because people take cue from what is happening at the head.
Well, you're correct. Well, certainly we know that there is a file on the decks at the FID as it relates to the PM. Let's see what will come of that. We're also aware that before leading into the election, the IC said that there was about 11 or so additional persons who were on the investigation. We're also awaiting all of this to see what will come out of it. We know that about 2 weeks ago, there are 4 letters that were signed for at the Parliament. Was basically addressed to the Speaker of the House, the clerk, and also to the Speaker, and I think maybe another person there. So we are waiting to see if that will happen. Last week, there seems to be just a kind of orientation within the Parliament. So let's see what will happen tomorrow. Will those reports basically hit the speakers? Will the speakers basically present those?
Yeah, and Conrad, for the people that are acting as if, the leader of the opposition, Honorable Mark Jefferson Golden, aka Marky G, do not have a right to stand up in the Parliament and question these issues. I'm telling you something, right? When you choose Jamaica, well, what kind of state do we have? Do we have a parliamentary opposition? Do we have a parliamentary democracy that operates with a government side and an opposition side, that they are supposed to be the watchdog and question things that not look right, not smell right? We walk like a duck, talk like a duck, and quack like a duck, and we're supposed to question if it's a duck, Conrad. They might act like Mark not have no right to in a parliament. It's like that,
Mary, I don't even get flustered with those people, because obviously those persons are really a waste of time, because they're not displaying any level of intelligence or anything, because anybody believe that the opposition leader, and indeed the members of the opposition, not going to stand up and ask pertinent questions or shouldn't do so, then certainly I don't believe that they are deserving of having a conversation with at all. And I'm saying this across the board. It doesn't matter who is the opposition, who is in government. We have a two-party democracy. Well, not a two-party, but we have two major political parties, one government, one opposition. I have to leave you there, though, Marie. All right?
Conrad, and I want to say, it stems from some of your peers, Conrad. Instead of asking pertinent questions, some of them up in a PNP business, but who should I lead and younger and this. When you get up and go out and go to investigative journalism, because someone not up journalist.
All right, darling. Take it easy. Okay? That again is some kind of creating a scenario when there is none. Because persons are trying to create leadership crisis within the People's National Party when there isn't. The party, as far as I hear them saying that they're very, very comfortable with their leader. But that's what it is, People will always come up with things. So it's a part of the flow. Let me just read some more of your comments here. It's the PM doesn't want to relinquish ties with the British Crown that he claims to want to sever ties with. All right, and G.A. Farmer is saying, what's your opinion regarding on the PM refusal to meet with the opposition leader? And RCS said, Blue said hi. All right, with a waving hand there and saying good morning, Obi. All right, thanks for that. The lines are open 876-212-9824. That's 876-212-9824 and 876-462-0919. Those are the numbers to call. We're coming up to the 11 o'clock break or 11:30 break, our final break. Of course, we're in the hour that is sponsored by our friends at Kenmore Manufacturing Company. Once again, I ask you to like and share my new YouTube channel that we're also feeding on. That's the Conrad Obi. That's Conrad Obi, the fireman. That's the name of the page. So go there, subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for your expression so far. Indeed, the Observer is right on its front page. Say, get back to business. Consensus on constitution reform. Top expectation as new parliament convene. All right, so that's the conversation that we have been having. So as Jamaica Parliament prepares for its first official sitting this week, all right? All right, let's go to the break. When we come back, we'll share some more of that with you. We're going to the 11:30 break.
News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere. The time on News Talk 93 FM is 11:30.
Contact News Talk 93 FM today via phone at 876-927-1660, extension 2475, or 876-427-9955. Email us at newstalk93fmsales@gmail.com. Visit our website at www.newstalk93fm.net.
Are you looking for exceptional dental care? Then look no further, because Wellington Dental is here to serve you. We offer dental care for both adults and children. At Wellington Dental, we know that a visit to the dentist might be mind-boggling, but don't let that stop you from getting the dental care you need. We have trained therapists to help alleviate your anxiety and make you feel so relaxed. You feel like you're at home. Wellington Dental, located at 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. We look forward to serving you.
Kenmore Shoe Manufacturing Company Limited, located in Greendale, Spanish Town. We manufacture custom-made clothes and shoes. For the best quality in uniform, corporate wear, safety, and school shoes, visit Kenmore Shoe Manufacturing Company Limited. Kenmore, the best for sure. Call us today at 876-632-8018. Email us at ken_mor2005@gmail.com. Kenmore, the best for sure.
Let's go! Bag it and pin it, every rubbish in a pan. No dirty up the place, this happy way island. So keep Jamaica. Say me good read, keep Jamaica clean. Beg you listen to me please. No plastic bag, no fear blowing at the breeze. Proper garbage, disposal, recycle plastic, now make it pull up in the streets. Bag it and pin it, every rubbish in a pan. No dirty up the place, this happy way island. So keep Jamaica. Say me good read.
Empire Group of Companies is now in the heart of New Kingston to serve you better. At 31 Tobago Avenue, get Empire Stationery and Office Supplies, Empire Restaurant and Hotel Supplies, and Empire Med and Scientific Supplies. Free same-day delivery island-wide. Visit their showroom today. Call 876-906-1965-6 or WhatsApp 876-775-2277. Email empirestationery1@gmail.com.
Newstalk 93 FM now provides a reminder to ensure your safety in the event of a hurricane this season.
After a hurricane,
use perishable food first, then non-perishable foods and staples after. Do not cook more than is needed for one meal. Immediately after the hurricane, don't use stored water for washing houses, cars, and watering gardens until normal water services have been restored. Purify water by adding bleach. 2 drops of bleach per liter of water. 4 drops if the water is cloudy. Do not purify all your water at once. After adding bleach, let water stand for 30 minutes before drinking. Boil all drinking water until you are sure that a safe water supply has been restored. Be sure to check your house for structural damage before moving back in. Bury all dead animals as soon as possible.
That was a reminder for precautionary measures to ensure your safety in the event of a hurricane this season.
Property owners, pay your property tax arrears now. Visit your nearest tax office, Linstead Old Harbour and Spanish Town. Pay by cash, debit, or credit card, and take your TRN if you're paying by check. Property tax pays for street lights, garbage collection and disposal, parochial road rehabilitation, and beautification. Contact your tax office or the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation at 876-984-3111 or 984-3112. Avoid legal actions. Pay your property taxes now.
Organic waste should not go into your bin. Start a compost with your organic waste in a cool or shaded area in your backyard. This waste management tip is brought to you by the NSWMA. One Jamaica. Make we clean up the place.
You know the voices. Now we live the moments.
The university has a role to play other than what it does on the campus.
This is something and an idea whose time has come.
You have to ask yourself what is taking place there.
The light rising from the west continues to burn brightly and with excellence.
The University Archives and NT93 FM present Voices from the Archives. Weekdays at 12:30 p.m., Monday to Thursdays at 6 in the evening, and Sundays at 8 in the morning on Newstalk 93 FM.
To participate on our programs, call, WhatsApp, or text us at 876-212-9824 or 876-462-0919. And go follow us on Instagram at Newstalk 93 FM.
This hour is brought to you by Kenmore Manufacturing Company Limited, Greendale, Spanish Town, manufacturing industrial and corporate uniform and shoes.
Newstalk 93 FM. Heard everywhere.
Welcome back to Straight Up right here and News Talk 93 FM. Indeed, we're in the final half an hour of the program. This hour is sponsored by our friends at Kenmore Manufacturing Company. My name is Conrad O'Brien, the fireman. We're coming to you live from the studios here at News Talk, right here at UWI. We're also up on the Conrad OB, the fireman, YouTube channel. And indeed, we are also streaming to our friends at Fit FM, fitfmja.com. So the Observer talking about consensus building on its front page. And of course, tomorrow we'll be having the first full sitting of the new parliament here in Jamaica. Of course, I also mentioned about those 4 letters that were sent to the House that were signed for. And it said that, listen, it should be revealed as soon as possible. So let's see if we'll hear what is in those letters tomorrow. All right, we wait on those. Hello, welcome, caller.
Morning, sir.
Hi, Mr. Lewis. How are you doing? Thanks for calling.
First thing I want to talk about quickly. I think Hamas should be very careful of signing any agreement with Trump. Because Trump and Israel, they are like twins. So there must be something in that agreement that's going to work out to their advantage. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, because when you look on it, Israel under attack left, right, and center right now. Plenty of the countries are against Israel. So it's just a matter of time, Israel will definitely go down. Although they have the very rich people, America and all over the world, supporting them. So Hamas should be very careful. Another point I want to move on to quickly. Yes. A lot of the things that we are importing in the country are inferior. I see some stoves coming out of India and fridge. What they do with the stoves, they put a kind of plastic thing over the raw metal. Raw shine metal.
Yes.
So it look glossy, and it look like some enamel coat. But when you buy it and you turn on it for the first time, you realize the plastic start melt, and you just the raw metal. Like metal sheet, the metal sheet. The fridge, the same way they put this thing on it, the same plastic thing, to give it a nice look. And this stuff is just inferior. When you look on the defrosting section of it, the amount of ice will build up in the fridge is alarming, man. Every time you have to defrost it. Yes, they sell it a bit cheaper than,
You see what happened what happened, Mr. Lewis? And this is the dilemma that faces a lot of our people. You get these things, you go, they're shiny and glassy. It's not just with the fridge. There are other furniture that people buy, and guess what? It is really the poorer persons really purchase a lot of these things. But the thing about it is that they end up spend so much money for the same thing within a short period of time, and rather than maybe go the long route, something a little bit more expensive but much more durable. So rather than you have to be repurchasing something, say maybe every 2 or 3 years, or at best 5 years, you invest in a quality product that basically lasts you for 20 years. Some things last you even for a lifetime. I have a washing machine, and I was about to get rid of the washing machine, and a gentleman said to me, "Obi, you mad? Them me something you can't get these again." And he came and he did something, change the knobs and so on, and the washing machine is as new as it is. And I have that washing machine for quite a while now, but it's a quality washing machine.
Yeah, that is true. Even the weight of the thing, then, if you come, say, a laptop, it's so light now. It's hardly anything in them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Within few months, you realize that they're not working again.
Another thing, and I don't know how many Madam Prince, you probably notice it as well. For another very, very inferior product, garbage bags. Garbage bags. Those bags, they are as thin as ever. They really, really and truly, it's an embarrassment.
You talk about bags, You see the bags where they would put the plants in, those black bags.
Yes.
Those things are, and I think we want to use the word inferior. As they put the plant in,
yes,
they're rotten. They're coming like scandal. So as you take up the plant, everything just shell out in your hand.
You're
right
into
now,
that business, Mr. Lewis?
Like plastic. Plastic bottle and cut them.
You're into that business, Mr. Lewis?
Yeah, I propagate like lychee, pear, and them stuff.
Okay, good. Excellent.
But the bags, them not good, man. And them I sell you like 100, like I light stock plate I'm getting with $5,000.
So how is the business? How is the business in that area?
Well, frankly, it's slow enough, but I market like Sparlings and so there's a guy up there buy from me.
Okay.
And people from outside, you know.
Very good, you know. So anybody wants what you say you do? Pear
and lychee, may have some big lines.
Oh.
People hardly know those. Big and don't have any seed in them. They have like sour stuff. Type of stuff, you know.
Okay, that's good.
Lychee, pear, they have the cinnamon. That are the big, thick one.
Yes. How long a time, for example, the Simmons pear? What's the duration of time for them to start produce?
It depends on the style and where you plant them. But I would say within 3 years.
Within 3 years.
Yeah. But it will blossom even earlier, but I would pick off the blossom because the plant is too young to really carry that fruit, you know.
At that time.
It's like a baby getting pregnant.
Okay.
And in fact, don't you lend them some. You lend them material.
Okay. All right. So you'd advise somebody who purchase and it start blossom in that short space of time to remove the blossom.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Bless you. All right.
Yes.
Let's see if we can get a couple more in before we close out. The number is 876-212-9824. That's 876-212-9824 and 876-462-0919. So we're looking forward to good governance, you know, that can really move the country forward. And that's going to take some amount of consensus. Just yesterday, somebody was saying to me that, boy, they're anticipating quite a bit of sabotage going forward at as it relates to the MPs and so on, you know, now that you have a 28. I said, listen, I am not prepared to go there. Let's see. I am prepared to wait and to see how things really pans out. But there's a level of skepticism. So let's see what will go on, because at the end of the day, we're all taxpayers. So let's see. Hello, welcome, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
I heard Mr. Lewis.
Hello, hold on. Good morning, sir.
I said, good morning. You're trying to create a problem in the talk, my brother, please. Thank you. So I'm saying, I heard Mr. Lewis this morning. Was he on a while ago?
Yes, sir.
Whoa, I'm so ashamed. He's supporting Hamas that rape, murder, and kidnap people. What is he saying?
You're supporting Israel. Israel that basically murdered, rape, and create all sorts of genocide?
Sorry, I'm saying Mr. Lewis is saying that.
No, I hear what you said. I'm asking you the question. If you are supporting.
Sorry, I'm gonna answer you. Just allow me, please. I'm gonna answer you. Hamas, October 7th, went into Israel, murdered, raped, kidnapped women, and he's supporting a terrorist group. Well, first of all,
hold on. The gentleman did not say he was supporting Hamas. He did not say that.
He said that what implication he's saying that they shouldn't trust Trump in negotiation.
Yes, then a lot of people don't believe that you should trust Trump with a lot of things. So if Mr. Lewis expressed such a view, it is not unique to Mr. Lewis. That's his view. What's your view? Hold on. What is your view? Your view is that you support the rape, the mayhem, and all sorts of things that is being perpetrated by Israel?
You ask my view, I'm going to tell you my view. You ask me, I'm going to tell you. But by saying that, I prefer a million Trump and a million Israel than one Hamas. Hamas, a terrorist group.
All right, fine.
Murder,
all right, fine. So let's leave that alone. Now that we know where your position is, anything else?
You don't know where my position is. I'm going to tell you where it is.
You just said it.
This to me. What I said. I said I prefer.
Then your position, that man.
But I said Israel. I didn't say murder, rape. I said Israel. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with you? When you check this, what I said. So Israel, as I know it, they have a right to exist, and they are.
The Palestinians do.
Well, if you allow me the respect and the dignity of telling what I'm saying, you keep butting in. Allow me to try to allow Mary and the rest, my brother. Can you do that to me? Thank you. Israel, in 1973, October 7, the whole Arab country attacked Israel on Yom Kippur. So they have been suffering from people who think they don't have a right to exist. They do have a right to exist. I do not support murder, rape, and I don't know Israel is doing that. They are in war, and in war, that's what it is. I'm saddened by the deaths of innocent collateral damage. I don't support those things, but Israel has to defend itself. And the PNP, and you should shame yourself.
All right.
In supporting
all right. Thank you very much, Bongo. That's where we part company. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Bongo. Bongo, can you take off Bongo from me? Thanks a lot, Bongo. Because when you come and you're going to say accuse me and the PNP of supporting terrorist group, I don't know what kind of quantum leap that. We don't have those discussions here, my friend. All right. Thanks for your call. Although you said everything that you had to say, went through already. All right. This man is unhinged. Oh my! Someone is saying that Bongo again. All right. Hello. Welcome, caller.
Morning, Conrad.
How are you doing, Africa?
You know, one person cannot give thanks for it, you know.
Every time.
It's good to be here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So Gaza and Israel are new politics. Huh?
I don't hear you.
Gaza and Israel are new politics down here now.
Well, people talk about a range of things. This is not a one-dimensional program, so we talk about everything. So persons find the whole Gaza situation interested. So that's it.
It's competition on. Huh?
Yeah, man.
We shot a doctor, don't.
Well, put it this way. The health facilities, whenever people go there, you know, they have a long time in getting through. And certainly, you know, it is argued that they need more doctors or more health professionals from time to time. However, what we're seeing is that we have a lot of trained doctors who are unable to get jobs.
They will not fire doctor too.
Well, we're putting doctors in interdiction.
Huh?
Yeah, man.
Doctor running a politics and when him come back in here, so he fire. Huh? And we shot a doctor. You ever see a doctor fire in Jamaica? Eh?
Well, you're telling me about one now.
I want to trim a rasta.
No, sir, I don't think so. The fact of the matter is that Dr. Dixon ran And they're saying the regional health authority that is chaired by Chen, they put him on interdiction, said that he breached the staff order. Of course, you heard the opposition spokesperson and Justice and other people weighed in on it and said that, listen, there seems to be the raw politics that are taking place here. It's being ventilated. Let's see what will come of it.
So, the people of Jamaica don't need a doctor.
Yes, they do.
The politicians them decide if we have doctor or not. Huh?
I'm listening to you, Africa. Make a point.
So we, the people of Jamaica, we now go come together and put away church and state and politics and deal with our things not in 1 year.
All right. You're making a passionate plea. Let's see what will come of that. I want to take one more, Africa, before I go and have to wrap.
Not even 1 year. What a different hour something.
All right.
I pay for them.
All right, let's catch up again tomorrow, Africa.
Yeah, me know it's good to be here.
Every time. All right. We want 1 year to take care of it with something. And Africa is saying that boy is like we'll give them everything. Hello, caller? Hello. Yes?
Yeah.
Oh, Portmore? Yeah, man. Yeah, man, I'm here in Portmore. I have about I have a few minutes with you. Just a few minutes. Go ahead.
All right. The people up in Long in Portland, I think it's fallen.
Well, you can speak up a little bit for me, Portmore, please. I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah, the people who live up in Long in Portland. In the area, I think it's...
Well, Portmore, I don't know why you're so low. What's wrong with your phone, man?
I think it's a phone.
Speak directly into it and see if you can.
Anyway.
Yeah.
They're saying that they're not getting any water out of them for a while now. There's the election.
Well, a young man that's in East Portland.
Yeah,
a young man had threatened as to what he would be doing with the water system, up to eyes at one. So maybe the police need to go check him out and do some investigation and see if he has anything to do with it.
If there's anything else, they would have find him, so then he too.
Colin said to me here that he's a man that is known to everybody in Portland. So the police need to find him because we see people who police know. And they're on social media saying things. This country is that we're joking around here, We are joking around here. And it is sad, the politics that is being practiced. It is very, very sad. And I have no axe to grind. Election over, done and gone. Right? People voted and they vote whichever way they wanted to vote, irrespective of what is the cause and effect of it. But when you look at these things, a man come in and him talk all sorts of things. And under normal circumstances, people who didn't say half of what he said, police go out there and have them in custody. And this man is allowed to basically be out there free. He should be spoken to.
He should be taken into custody.
Indeed.
And charged for sabotage.
I agree.
But it can be the private people of water, and that is what is taking place. Because the people themselves can't get no water for all long. Right? And it is not normal. And they say, here are the use of water. And while they don't have any water seems to be diverted to other areas. But you could deprive people of water. Because you see, Jamaica has been run like a little dictatorship, a little panhead dictator. Right? And they're putting people in position who seem to share the same opinion or the same view like that at the head. And that's why we are not going to get any kind of good governance under Anglo-Welsh administration, no matter who they bring in. Because if they could bring in people like the farmer who head of Chris, and he has been there for some time. Them bring in the Michael Leach and he claim that they're going to fight it for, and up until now we don't see any substantial As a matter of fact, there has been no improvement in agricultural output or in no other area of economic development in this country. Direct foreign investment has declined from, several 100% has declined. So, I don't expect anything new under this new government. All I know, what Jamaica is going to come under heavier pressure that I will continue to see that we import it too much time on and we export it. Agriculture that we're supposed to be focusing on. We hear a lot of lip service about our cocoa and our coffee. Yet still, there is no major effort to rehabilitate either. Of course, you don't hear of any massive planting program in place. And I hear them say them announce. I forget how much $1 million.
All right, Portmore. I have to leave it there, Portmore. I have to leave it there for today. Thanks. All right, so thanks on behalf of everyone who joined us. Thanks. Join us again tomorrow. We're up.
The preceding hour was brought to you by Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Wellington Dental, providing dental care at its best.
Thanks a lot to everyone who joined us this morning. All right, so continue to like and subscribe to the Conrad OB. Conrad OB, the Fireman YouTube channel. It's a pleasure. God bless you all.
The time on News Talk 93 FM is 12 o'clock.
Contact News Talk 93 FM today via phone at 876-927-1660, extension 2475, or 876-427-9955. Email us at newstalk93fmsales@gmail.com. Visit our website at www.newstalk93fm.net.
This is the Global News Podcast from the BBC World Service. I'm Uncle Design in the early hours of Monday, the 6th of October. These are our main stories. President Trump has urged everyone involved in the Gaza peace efforts to move fast as delegations from Hamas and Israel prepare for indirect talks in Egypt. A BBC investigation has spoken to the perpetrators and victims of the fast-growing crime of online sexual extortion. Also in this podcast, Giselle Pellico, drugged by her husband and raped by dozens of men, is back in court. But what has changed in France since the original trial?
Very little, actually. It means that rape culture is something very deeply rooted in our society.
We ask what's behind the seemingly unstoppable rise of Bitcoin, and
the nuttiness, the texture, and the creaminess of that oat is very special. So I think I owe a lot to the oat I brought with me.
How an oat made popular by the Vikings in the 1800s won the World Porridge Championship. Delegations from Hamas, Israel, and the United States are due to convene in Egypt for talks later today, with the US president urging negotiators to move fast to end the nearly 2-year-long war in Gaza. Donald Trump's words were echoed by his top diplomat, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio.
I would like the hostages to have been released yesterday. Now, we need to work through the logistics of how that's going to happen. I mean, again, that's simplistic, but it's not just about, you got to make sure that there's no fighting going on. You have to make sure the Red Cross can get there, what time they're going to be there, where they're going to be. All of that has to be worked through, and that's not easy in the middle of an active war zone. That has to be de-escalated.
Ahead of the meeting scheduled on the eve of the 2-year anniversary of the October the 7th Hamas attacks, both Mr. Rubio and Mr. Trump had called on Israel to stop bombing the territory, but so far to no avail, with more deadly airstrikes throughout the weekend. Tala El-Mughrabi, a teenager in Gaza, sent us some of her reflections after 2 years of war.
But I lost my home in 10th November 2023. I am terrified by the sound of these explosions starve every day.
might go with Dinky. Because if you didn't see the funeral where did I circulate or not, sister said, Dinky, I got help. You are going to know those.
You see what I mean?
No, I told somebody.
Hold on.
To secure a lasting ceasefire. Is
Yeah.
it still achievable?
Seeing it now?
We asked our international editor, Jeremy Bowen.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a good moment because all sides, for their own different reasons, are pushing in that direction. And
The little box?
in Israel, there's big appetite for that. Of course, in Gaza, there's a humanitarian catastrophe, there's famine.
Yes,
According
yes.
to the Master and Health Ministry, whose figures are generally regarded as pretty reliable,
So-
perhaps an underestimate. More than 66,000 dead, mostly civilians.
Okay, yeah, it's a you're sure you want to stop streaming and it's cancel and okay. So just press okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.